The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
Hazardous driving conditions. Stay off the road at all costs.
This is Frankie McDowell. My own team station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Major winter storms head towards Minnesota. Going to bring up to 12 to 18 inches of snow in Minnesota, especially in Minnetonka, St. Paul, Minnesota. It's going to bring blow and drift and so reduce disabilities. Really dangerous driving conditions. People in Minnesota, be prepared. Heavy winter boots ready, winter jackets ready, hats, gloves, scarves, ski pants is ready. Order your pizzas and order your Chinese food. Buy gates, especially buy gates and Coke. Do your grocery shopping. Don't wait till the last minute. Do it right now. Make sure if your smartphone, cell phones, laptops, tablets charge. Hey, for 3G, 4G, 5G, and LTE, you're at ready as well. Take care. Stay safe.
Damn you, snow!
Showtime.
Yeah, well, it's a sloppy old pig out there this morning in Minneapolis and surrounding areas. It is. So hang on to something if you're getting ready to drive a motor vehicle. Welcome to the damn 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Are there schools closed?
There are, yeah. They closed them before everything got going yesterday that I noticed. Or, well, I should say I saw some articles of some schools being closed.
Schools closed.
I went out last night at 7 and thought, oh, here we go. This is going to be a big one. I got the snowblower already the other day. Went and gassed it up, everything. I was all prepared, and I got out there at 7. I'm like, there's nothing on my driveway. It's been snowing,
really?
barely snowing all day. It was like half my driveway had just a dusting, and that was it.
Yeah, it depends on who you are and where you are. How bad you got pinned.
Yeah, we didn't get it bad at all.
Yeah, I have quite a bit of snow.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
I could have used a snowblower, I guess, but in your neighborhood, not so much. Good for you, Cubby.
There's more this morning, but it's not even snowblower worthy.
Good
at least
for
you.
It's so heavy.
Like a Chevy. Depends on where you are. She's a Monday. Might be a real pain in the ass for some of yous, but maybe
Little slick on the sidewalks. That's what got me on the way in. I thought, oh, I'm dead.
You didn't go down, did you?
No.
Thank God.
Came close.
I took our sidewalk awful slow.
Yeah.
I did. But the back parking lot's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thanks to our plow guys and shovel guys. It was all cleaned up.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the front lot is too.
They must be out of salt.
Yeah,
I noticed that. I think that's what happened because it was a
They're out
little
of salt.
slick.
Yeah.
So they didn't get to use the full salt budget that they were for this year, so they just dumped it on us right now.
I could have used somebody to hold hands with on that friggin' sidewalk.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. So there you go. Hope everyone makes it all right. And it's supposed to keep going on and on. We might have a few more adventures before this sumbitch is all said and done.
Oh, I can't wait for the rain and then everything freezes. That'll be fun.
Well, I don't know if it's going to get that cold, Wapple, but we'll see. We'll see. Josh, light of my life, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, I guess.
Excited to see you guys.
Yeah.
Are you really? You're excited to see us?
I always am.
Oh, it's great to
Especially
hear.
on Mondays.
Why is that? Why are?
Well, because we had the break, you know. I miss you guys on Saturday and Sundays. I get to see you on Mondays. Is that weird?
A little bit.
Is it really?
I mean, just a little bit.
I get, I'm a little pumped.
We're not worth missing just for 2 damn days. Well, maybe I am.
Yeah, maybe.
Worth missing.
Maybe missing isn't the right word, but I am excited to see you guys on Monday.
Well, quit being a stiff. Drop a keg in your garage. We'll come over on a Friday or Saturday. Now, this past weekend, you donated your time and law enforcement expertise to the Lakeville Police Department by way of a ride-along, did you not?
I did.
Did you and your fellow officers have a busy day?
My partner and I, we were out there crushing crime. I'm not allowed to say kind of what happened as far as that goes.
Oh.
I can tell, well, just in general.
Yeah.
Even if nothing happened, I'm not allowed to say.
Gotcha.
Really? Is
I
that
thought
all?
maybe you're involved in some big bust or something.
Sweet.
You know, here, first and foremost, you know, my partners and I, we don't really like to talk about work outside of work. I'm making an exception because, like I said, I'm excited to see you guys. But it was fun. And I got to say, so this was in Lakeville. Officer Phillips and I were out there, my partner. And that is a really cool group of guys. And, you know, when you do something like that, even though I enjoy doing it, I think The rest of the guys are looking at me like I'm a giant dork. Like, who's this guy? Just kind of, he's in our lunchroom, he's walking around, he's out there driving around, but they treated me very well. And I felt like one of the guys. They made me feel like it was a lot of fun. The only hiccup was at the beginning, there was a little disagreement between me and my partner about who's going to drive the squad. I ended up letting him do it.
I can see where that would be. Yeah, I can see where that would be a point of contention.
There was a moment where I thought, I'm going into the chief's office. I can't handle this. I thought I was driving. They never swore me in, though. I mean, there's a couple of hiccups. I didn't get sworn in, and I didn't get to drive. But outside of that, it was a blast.
How many hours did you put in?
Let's see. I got there probably around 11, and I was out of there by 4. I think.
That's not the. I thought maybe you'd make her a 10-hour shift or something like that.
Yeah, maybe 4:30. Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't stay the whole time.
That's not a bad shift with your 3-hour lunch you had in there.
Well, 3.5 because you forgot the drive time to and from.
Yeah.
Did you do anything that caused the movie cliche where the chief is like, Pitney, in my office? And
No.
then he goes, you're rogue, Pitney, but you get results.
No, but I did do my first desk pop.
Did you?
Yeah. Turns out that's a prank.
No, that's not cool. Yeah, they'll make fun of you for that. Do they really ask you not to give out any information about what you do?
Yeah.
Really?
I know, in case there's like a pending court case or something. I guess I didn't.
Okay,
I don't know.
well,
I just signed the papers and didn't really ask many questions.
Well, fair enough. I know this was far from your first ride-along. Has it always been that way?
I guess I don't remember.
Okay.
Maybe nobody said anything to me before.
If you can't tell us specifics, then maybe you can just tell us on a scale of 1 to 10. Honestly, how would you rate the excitement, the activity?
Well, I loved it. It was a lot of fun. But if you're talking about like how much we had going on,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
well, maybe a 3.
Well, I mean,
but that's how I want it.
Yeah.
Sure, and you just dig the whole experience. And
Oh, geez, I'm forgetting about one of the bigger ones. There was one that I had to sit in a car for. I sat in the car mostly. It was kind of cold, and I was being a wimp about it. But there was one in particular. Okay, that I'm going to bring that up to a 5.
there was an incident in particular that you forgot about. And
just because I wasn't really involved in it at all, I sat in the car and just kind of caught up on work stuff. So that particular one was a little more exciting.
Well, wait a minute. There are times they let you get out the car?
If you want to. I mean,
that surprises me.
I mean, really, like, say they pull someone over for speeding, the ride-along person can get out and walk up to the car?
Kind of depends. I never do because I already feel like a dork. But, I mean, it was in a place that the officer went into that I wasn't allowed to go in.
Maybe you've explained this to me before and I just forgot, but... So you're telling me that there are situations where a real cop, has to enter a building to encounter this or that, and the ride-along person can get out of the car and come in with them?
Kind of depends on what it is. Yeah, I have before.
Dang.
But, I only did once, and I felt so, like, such a dork, because people are, either they'll say, hey, officer, and I have to say, no, I'm just a guy, Or they look at you like, what the hell is this guy doing here?
Some guy's getting arrested. Like, hey, and who's this loser, by the way?
Well, see, that's what I was going to bring up, is if I was getting in trouble for something, and some ride-along, you used the word twice, I'm going to keep going with it, some ride-along dork is just standing.
And I understand.
I would be pissed off.
Yeah, same here.
Especially if I'm a younger I would likely take my anger out on the dork.
No, I know. I totally understand.
Yeah.
Like I said, I feel like a dork out there. I just enjoy doing it. And if I ever saw a ride-along, I'd think, what a dork. Look at this guy. So I'm a giant hypocrite. I just enjoy. I like hanging out with the guys. It was fun,
And I know you dig it. I'm glad you had a good time, but this is all just, like I said, sorry if I've forgotten some things. But, I mean, imagine getting busted for something. And okay, there's the uniformed police officer, and standing next to them is some dude with a hoodie and a backwards baseball cap with his hands in his pockets just staring at you.
Right. I know. I've gone on ride-alongs with other professions. You guys know this. I love seeing what somebody else's day-to-day is or learning about what they do.
Well, explain these other ride-alongs. I mean, as you have heard this morning, I'm forgetful, and I've but most importantly, our listeners who haven't heard the story. Who else have you rode along with?
I've ridden along with a plow guy. I've ridden along
I
with
never
a
heard
couple
your
of
stories of riding along with a plow guy.
Because you guys will bust my balls. I've ridden along with a couple of people in the trades. I just kind of went and see what they have done on a day off or something.
I love this.
This is what happens when somebody doesn't drink.
Yeah,
Yep.
you might be onto something.
This is what sobriety does to people.
You took a day off to go to someone else's work.
Oh, no. It's when we had a day off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
So-
I didn't take it off for that purpose.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
But that's how you chose to use your day off.
That's
you
different.
had to
That's
say
how I
From
used
work
it.
and you still went to
Yeah.
work.
You have to understand
I
how
went to their work.
Yeah.
You have to understand how to speak Wapple. What he meant.
Oh, I know what he
Yeah,
meant, but
yeah.
just to be clear, in case somebody's just tuning in, I did not take a day off for that purpose.
Right. You used your time off. Okay. But anyway, riding along with a plow driver.
Yeah, it was awesome.
When did you do this?
Oh, shoot. This was probably 2013, 2012.
And then you
around there.
hopped in a van with an electrician or something
It
like
was
that?
an electrician.
Are you effing kidding me?
I've done it with that sounded dirty. I have done the same thing with a carpenter before.
That's
to kinda
awesome.
You
see-
are just the most curious little thing.
I love it.
That's great.
So pure and wholesome. I love it.
That is
They,
something.
Wapple, I'm not trying to one-up you in any way, but I also got a sticker with a badge on it.
Oh,
Just like you did when they made you a junior deputy in Anoka County.
Yeah. I
All right,
like
well,
it.
what is
They're
another
beefing up the junior force.
What is another profession that you have an interest in learning more about? Maybe someone could call in and have you ride along with them next time you get a chance.
Well, yeah, I'd love to. There was a crane operator who said we can maybe make that happen at some point.
That'd be fun.
You could sit up in there. Well, I don't know, is there enough room for you to sit? You're just sitting on the floor.
Maybe they'll put me on the end of the crane. Well, like that working with Wapple bit we had, that's why I loved that bit for that reason. It was cool kind of learning what other people do.
I was going to say, I think you'd like going along with a garbage man. That was
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
fun.
absolutely I would.
I got to use the arm and everything, pick up the cans.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
That
fun.
would be awesome.
It was fun until he had me get out and move a whole vanity sink by myself. Try to get that in the garbage truck. That was tough. That
Oh,
sucked.
bad.
Yeah, the worst part is how much of a dork you feel like.
Yeah.
Because usually the other people probably look at you that way. That's why I really appreciate the guys in Lakeville. They treated me real well.
All right, people are texting in now. They want Cubby to come on a ride along or a sit in at their job. You want to ride in a dump truck?
Yeah,
You want to do windows and doors? Delivering windows, doors, and lumber.
absolutely. I mean, all of it. I love all of it.
Come over to a tattoo shop? Well, you might see some ass.
Yeah, sure, I'd sit there. I mean, I'm sure they're not going to let me pick up the needle or anything, but I wouldn't even want to.
I'm going to let this guy, he's going to tap in for me and finish up the tattoo for you.
So you never told us about these other ride-alongs. That's really interesting and adorable.
For a good reason. I probably shouldn't have said a darn thing about it.
I mean, come on. I mean, it's all right.
But I like learning about it. It's something I never would experience,
It's
you know?
dorky. Yes, it's dorky. But,
That's why,
so what?
like
So what? You enjoy it? Go ahead.
Jesus names are great because we get to learn a little bit about what people do or some of their hobbies, things like that. Yeah, it's great. Mm-hmm. I like living vicariously through other people. I don't really need the excitement in my own life. I enjoy seeing what other people get a chance to do.
We were just talking about snow plowing here last week or something. I don't know why that. Well, whatever. We got into a convert. Maybe because of the the upcoming storm. We talked about plow folk, and you kept that secret.
Yes.
Whatever it was last week, you didn't tell. Did you get to drive? Did you push some snow?
No.
You did not.
No, not at all.
You just sat there with
Yeah.
the sunflower seeds and the Mountain Dew.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is something. You want to ride along in the bang bus? A listener.
No, I'll skip that one.
See, I would ride along in the bang
Oh,
bus.
yeah, I know you would.
Yeah.
be a cleaning man in there.
Gross.
The detail guy.
No, I didn't even take that. My time to
All
shine.
right, here's the splooge squeegee.
What do you think their detail budget is?
No, I'm not cleaning anything up, but maybe they need someone just to click some still photographs or something. Do they still need still photographs? Is there magazines? Maybe they don't even sell those magazines anymore, do they? I'll just keep it for my
you
own.
can buy magazines.
Oh, really? Okay, they might
Sure.
need a bang bus guy. Call me, not Cubby. But I'm not going to drag a towel up and down the damn thing when it.
No.
Gross.
No. Garbage trucks, UPS drivers. You want to smuggle some drugs?
No, I'll pass on anything illegal
You don't
or
like
with
illegal?
any smut or anything like that. But everything else, I'm interested.
Smut. I always love
smut.
when he uses that word. Smut.
On a totally separate topic.
Yes.
Anybody watch Roadhouse yet? The remake?
Oh,
Yeah,
I have
did.
not.
It was absolutely awesome. I loved it.
Never saw it.
So I liked it, but I thought it was weird.
Why?
I don't know. Like was it a comedy? Was it not a comedy? I mean,
Oh, okay.
you know, like in action movies, they can throw in some funny lines and it seems to fit. At
Yeah.
times, it was kind of weird. The bad guys were weird, where they weren't really intimidating. I saw way too much of Conor McGregor's butt. I didn't need that much Conor McGregor
Yeah,
butt.
I was-
Maybe you
I
like
was-
that part.
You
I was
wanted
done
just a
with it.
little butt?
There was a lot. There, after a while, I was like, all right, where's his clothes? He can put his clothes on.
Tell me about this Roadhouse remake. Where is this playing?
On Prime Video, I believe.
Jake Gyllenhaal
Correct.
plays Dalton.
Yep, he's Dalton.
What the hell's the full name? Doesn't matter.
Elwood.
Yep.
It really is Elwood.
I think it's Elwood Dalton.
And then Conor McGregor is the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I thought it was kind of weird. And maybe, hey, if I'm wrong, text. I'd like to know your opinion on it. If you've watched it, 651-989-9393. I was watching it thinking, would Nick like this? Because we both love the original.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I don't think you'd like it.
I watched the original again over the weekend. I was going to watch the new one, and I just couldn't bring myself to it. I was like, nah, I'm going to go back to the
which
old
one was this?
The old one.
I'm sorry, I
old
missed this.
Roadhouse.
You were going to watch the new Roadhouse.
Yes.
You decided not to. You watched the old one.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
watching a trailer, and I'm like, I don't know if I could do it.
I mean, I think we all can agree that Roadhouse was one of those movies that really didn't need to be remade.
Yes.
Yeah.
Put that
Yes.
on a long list of movies that didn't need to be remade, but they went ahead and did it. You don't think I'd like it, Josh? I don't think I'd like it either.
Yeah, I don't think you would.
And here's why. I can't stand that Conor McGregor dude. I can't stand the sight of him. I don't think he's a good person. So I don't enjoy.
I'm with you.
I don't enjoy that he got that gig.
And people are saying the same thing, that McGregor kind of ruined it. It was goofy. I mean, it wasn't intimidating. I don't know.
Couldn't
How
really
much-
figure out what it wanted to be. Like, it wanted to be action
Well,
or
that's
comedy.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't tell. So I enjoyed it.
How much of it played out like the original, or did they completely change the script? I mean, I know that
It was similar.
in the original, Dalton is just a bouncer dude. In the remake,
Yep.
Dalton's a former UFC fighter.
Yep.
But it's similar. Here's the other reason why the remake can't be nearly as good as the first. It's impossible for the remake to feature Terry Funk. He's dead. So anyway,
Gyllenhaal was good. I liked
Yeah,
him.
he's great.
he's a
Yeah.
great actor.
A lot of him shirtless, if you want to see that.
Yeah,
to
quite a bit.
To the point where it's almost comical.
Yeah.
He was shirtless quite a bit.
He's very good at what he does.
Yeah, I thought he was very good.
Well,
And I'm not saying it was bad. It wasn't bad. I did like it.
it was weird.
And maybe I'll watch it again, and pick up something I didn't the first time. But I was curious if anybody else watched it, because there are times I'm like, boy, this was odd. This was odd.
I guess I never really got that feeling from it.
You didn't?
But maybe I just didn't think hard enough about it. I thought
maybe
it
I
was
thought too hard.
all around pretty good.
Yeah, maybe you're right and I'm wrong. I don't know.
The original Roadhouse made a ranking of the best bad movies of all time.
I love bad movies.
Oh, real quick, I just want to get to this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Creative
Yeah.
Outlook Jesus said, a guy said, I just saw the remake of Roadhouse, and he said to her, this is what I want you to do first. Start with the original, and then go to bed.
I mean, okay.
Oh, boy.
At first, I was kind of offended that Roadhouse was called a bad movie. You know, these are the best bad movies of all time. But, you know, it probably does deserve that label. I mean, there's some really, really stupid elements to the original Roadhouse. Really stupid.
Yeah, it's cheesy. I mean, even the fact that there's crazy bar fights and the band just keeps on playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even noticed.
Even that's just kind of goofy.
One of the most fun nights of my high school life, my high school career, whatever the hell you want to call it, was when we all piled into the Excelsior Docks Theater to see Roadhouse, the original, 1989. And I mean, we just had a riot because the movie's just so silly and over the top and violent and all that stuff that you love when you're 17. The part where the entire theater just went, "Oh, come on!" Can you guess what part from the original Roadhouse where everyone in the theater just could not believe what they had seen and heard and just laughed and said, "Come on," to the movie screen?
Does it involve a throat?
No. I mean, that was ridiculous. Yeah. But it was when the bad guy says to Dalton, "I used to bang guys like you in prison."
Oh, yeah.
And everybody said, "What? What do you mean? Who the hell's going to say that out loud?"
That's kind of like something that happens in real life where someone's trying to throw out a cool line and then realizes that didn't work out for me.
Right. That's perfectly said. The whole theater went, "Come on!" You don't say that.
Mixed reviews coming in via text on the new Roadhouse.
The new Roadhouse.
Yeah, it's entertaining. I just thought it was silly.
I'm definitely going to check it out.
The bad guy. If they had better bad guys, I would have liked it.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor just irks me, man. Just the sight of him. Enough with that guy. Some of the other movies here on that, we don't need to go through the whole friggin' thing because a lot of them you never heard of. Some of the other movies that grabbed my attention on this report of the best bad movies of all time. Maximum Overdrive.
I like that movie.
It's stupid as hell.
Yeah.
Never saw it.
But that's entertaining. I'm glad I saw that movie.
I mean, we couldn't wait to see it as kids. Well, we weren't exactly kids. We were probably 14 or 15, but we couldn't wait to see it because the entire soundtrack is AC/DC Who Made Who record.
That's what I was going to say. The soundtrack is awesome.
Showgirls, I love Showgirls.
Oh, that one's fun.
I love that movie. Spice World, never saw it, but it's the friggin' Spice Girls.
Yeah.
I loved Baby Spice so much, I may have ended up on a list somewhere.
The aliens scared me when I was a little kid.
That's right. You were terrified of that movie.
Yep.
That's so funny.
Yeah, my sisters would constantly watch it, and when the aliens came down...
There were aliens in it?
Yeah, they wanted autographs from the Spice Girls.
Of course, yeah. Why wouldn't they?
So they came down, they were all spooky, and then, their ramp comes down, there's smoke, and then you see them, and I was scared of them.
I'm lucky that the cops and a ride-along dork didn't come to my house and ask me questions about Baby Spice because I was stalking her for a good year and a half.
You were very, very interested in her, that's for sure.
Sharknado, sure. Yeah, Sharknado.
They're in on the joke. Mm-hmm. I think that helps.
The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage. That's one of the dumbest piles of absolute dog feces that's ever been created.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, my Lord. You won't believe it. You simply won't believe how bad it is, how bad the acting is. Every single second of that movie sucks. But there you go. The original Roadhouse, one of the best bad movies of all time. Maybe the remake will make this list 20 years from now. You know what I mean? So there you go. Hey, you know what we got setting in front of us this morning, in case folks are interested? We got a shot for a listener to win tickets to the home opener.
That's awesome.
Twins in Cleveland coming up in a little over a week. We got a shot to win tickets to the home opener.
Are you going, Nick?
I doubt it because it's a Thursday, and Thursdays are work days.
Yeah.
Can't.
I wish I could.
Yeah, I mean, weekday and weeknight stuff just is a thing of the past for me. But maybe a miracle will happen. So
It'd be fun to go to that Saturday game, too, at 1 o'clock.
Ooh, I like a 1 o'clock Saturday game.
You're talking about the second game of the year?
Yep.
You know what would be fun? To go to the third game of the year.
Yeah, Sunday.
You know what else would be fun? To maybe go to the...
And if they went to the World Series, it'd be fun to go to one of those games.
I don't think that'd be fun.
Well, the best part about the second game of the season is there's half the crowd to deal with.
Yep. Exactly.
I mean, maybe I'm nuts, but I vividly remember me and my strangest friend, well, maybe I shouldn't say that, one of my stranger friends, Dane and I went to the all-time opener at Target Field. How do I say that? The very first
grand opening.
Grand opening.
Grand close.
Of Target Field. And one of the first things, the first thing we said when we walked in was, wow. I mean, we almost got emotional. Both of us being big Twins fans. Finally, we have this beautiful outdoor ballpark. It was almost a religious thing. After spending all those years in the stupid old Metrodome, we said, wow, this is incredible. This is everything that we have dreamed of. The second thing we agreed on, Dane and I, was we can't wait for the time when no one's showing up to the games. I didn't really put that correctly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though
Like
everything
the
about
crowd's lesson.
Yeah, we said, I can't remember our exact quote, was something like, I can't wait to show up when there's only 5,000 people here.
Because it was a trendy place to be for quite a while. Even if you weren't a big baseball fan, people just like to say they were going to Target Field.
Well, just the crowd was so overwhelming at that grand opening that,
Some people we knew pretended they went there or made it seem that they went there just because they saw the beautiful new stadium on the MLB The Show video game.
Nice.
That was hilarious. And it was the person that's, I'm going to be there day one. This is my new place. I'm going to buy season tickets, all that kind of stuff, but instead just watch it on video.
That was one of the dumbest moments in the history of this show.
Yeah. That was so
many years
stupid.
ago. Many years ago. We were talking about how great Target Field is, weren't we, Josh?
Yep.
And, yeah, dude agreed with us. Dude goes, oh, yeah, it's awesome.
Best ballpark in Major League Baseball.
And we said, whoa, we didn't know this is season one. We said, we didn't know you had gone to a game yet. Well, no, I haven't. I just played it on the video game. You got to be kidding me.
That was so good.
Those concourses look beautiful in the game.
Yeah, I've noticed it's a little glitchy and tough to find a bathroom at times. But wow, what a facility.
So there you go. Stay tuned for home opener tickets. Brad Ryder, Randy Shaver will be hanging out with us a little bit later on this morning. We can talk about that basketball tournament and every damn thing that's going on. And again, it could be a lot worse, depending on your neighborhood. Some of you's got a hell of a lot of snow. Some of you's not quite so overwhelming. But it could be a lot worse, but still. Do your best to be careful. You don't need any problems on a friggin' Monday morning. We'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Our customers are our top priority, whether that's providing same-day service or solving a cooling issue for that addition on your home. Ashley, tell our listeners about this month's AC specials.
Get started on your spring cleaning checklist now. With the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to get your AC tuned up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.
What companies would you want to work for? Just Capital is a nonprofit that tracks which companies are a force for good. Companies like Bank of America, which just earned the prestigious Just Capital 2024 seal. Bank of America is ranked #1 in the banking industry and #1 for their ongoing commitment to workers, offering best-in-class benefits, including a minimum wage of $25 an hour by 2025. Visit justcapital.com to learn how a just business is a better business.
Furnished by Just Capital.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, a few minutes ago, Josh was telling us all about his ride-along career. This past weekend, Cubby went on a ride-along with the cops down in Lakeville. And I knew you had done this a few times before. And, folks know the setup. You get a real cop and you get a dork. The dork jumps in the car with them, right, Josh? And they go on a ride along.
Yeah, for anybody who's not following along, I was the dork in this situation. I'm the dork in a lot of situations, but particularly this one.
No. So what we didn't know, or maybe I had just forgotten, no, we didn't know this. You have also gone on ride-alongs with snowplow drivers.
Yep.
You went on an electrician ride-along?
Yes, I did.
And what was the other one, a roofer?
Carpenter.
A carpenter. You jumped in the work truck with them, you went and helped them, you saw them do this and that, whatever their day involved.
Correct.
That is something.
I enjoy that kind of thing.
We have a couple of questions and comments coming in from our listening audience.
Oh, good. I look forward to the pounding.
There is no pounding.
There will be no pounding, Josh.
Only in America, Jesus has a question. Did they give Cubby some knockoff police outfit that's comparable to those football uniforms from a Sears catalog in 1983?
No, I just got the badge sticker. I got that they hand out to little kids.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did you wear it during the ride along, or did they give it to you when you were done?
Not allowed to say.
Okay.
I love that from Only in America, Jesus, because I remember those fake football uniforms from the Sears catalog in the early 80s where it was basically a pair of pajamas.
Yep.
That's great stuff. What do I have here? Oh, you've gotten many offers to ride along, sit in with whatever.
Is that right? Yeah, I'm interested. I'll do it.
Come to the zoo, says a listener. Josh, you can be the dork to hang out with the zookeeper.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be great. I'd feel guilty because I know Ashley would want to do that.
Oh, if you got a chance to be in there when they feed the penguins, I love watching them do that.
Fun. You can't feed the penguins.
I can't walk away whenever they're doing that. I end up being stuck there for like an hour.
Too many lives have been lost, the guy tells me.
I worked at the zoo, and the best part was, obviously, I wasn't a zookeeper, but the best part was getting to kind of hang out with the zookeepers after hours when the things closed, and then I got to go and interact with the animals.
That is so
cool.
It
was great.
It's a lot of scoop and poop.
Can't you pay to do stuff like that? Like hang with the animals after when they close?
Mm-hmm. And what is this, a question or a... Yeah. My 4 sons, Jesus, wants to know, Josh, if you have ever had interest in doing a ride-along with other local morning shows to see how they make a much worse product with much better equipment.
You know, it took me a second to get all the complexities of that text, but yeah, I'd love to. Absolutely. Just kind of hang out and see how other people do their thing. Learn something from them.
Yeah, holler at us next time you get an idea. We want to be kept up on what you're doing. Don't be shy about telling us these things. I mean, how long ago was it you did the snowplow ride along and you never told your best friend?
I swear I told you. It was like 12 years ago.
Maybe you did, and I forgot. I used to do a lot more drinking. All right, everybody. And all of y'all, we're starting today's stupid news. We're starting today's report in a dark, twisted place. Dark, twisted, and disgusting. And apparently it's all for real skis. A sick maniac was arrested last Friday in California for snatching up the severed leg of a person who had just been run over and killed dead by a train.
Oh, dude.
I'm not trying to be controversial, but that's effed up.
Yeah.
That guy has problems.
Are you following the words? So a train comes rolling by, it smacks some poor bastard and kills him. In the process, a leg fell off. And the dude picked it up. Some dude on the sidewalk picked it up and walked away with it.
I guess you never know when you're going to need a leg.
Somebody had their cell phone video camera rolling, and they got footage of the maniac. The video shows the maniac inspecting the leg where he found it on the sidewalk.
Oh.
He appears to sniff it.
Smell check.
Like a damn dog. And then he grabs it up and he starts walking away. He's carrying a freshly severed limb down the sidewalk. It's swinging behind him like he's carrying a damn purse.
There's just a blood trail behind him. Ugh.
Oh, I wonder. I watched the video, but it was blurred.
Yeah, it's the same one I saw. Now, also, there were witnesses who said that after the maniac grabbed up the freshly severed leg, he began to eat it.
Oh. Why would you eat it raw? At least cook it.
I need to tell you about something because I saw it. He began to eat. Now, I watched some of the video, and yeah, it did look like the guy might have taken a bite.
It did. Yeah, it's a little tough to tell the angle, but it looked like he ate it.
And then he wiped his mouth off a little bit. You know how you might do if you...
Like a turkey leg.
Sloppy Joe, whatever. You kind of take your sleeve and go...
If you search out the video and you have a bit of a weak stomach, because you heard us say, hey, it's blurred out. Even though it's blurred out, you can see things dangling. That was kind of disturbing.
Yeah, the dangling is sick.
Yeah.
Because this isn't a cleanly severed appendage.
So just be warned.
Dude.
That part, I think I've got a pretty good stomach for this stuff, but that part got me, even though it was blurred out.
It says here the dude, the maniac, appeared unconcerned by the police on the scene or the bystanders who were filming him and all the carnage all around. He even waved at one of the cameras pointed at him.
With the leg. Hello.
Hi. The maniac has a name. The cops found out he goes by Resendo Telez, and Resendo was arrested for taking evidence from the scene of a crime, and also he had multiple outstanding warrants. This here incident is under investigation. It is. Now also, word is this past Friday's disaster that I was just explaining to you was possibly the second time this year someone removed a body part from a crash scene in that same area of California.
It's in the water down there.
A couple 3 weeks ago, someone went ahead and brought a human hand into a homeless shelter.
Dude.
Just days after a train had smashed some other pedestrian to death. So nobody knows for sure that the hand came from the scene of that crash or from Mae Young, but the overall vibe was that this other severed body part, a hand, came from that other train killing a pedestrian scene.
High five!
I don't know.
It's bigger when it's warm out. Jesus says, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say the guy's insane.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave that stuff sit.
I don't know.
If I'm walking by the scene of something like that, I'm not touching a damn thing.
Yeah, I was just wondering. I mean, I'd probably throw up a couple times and then call the cops.
Yes.
100%.
You know you would.
I'm not above, grabbing something, free off the sidewalk or something, but I think I'm going to let a limb just kind of stay there.
Yeah. Sick, bruh.
Yeah, it was really disturbing. The video was really disturbing, unnerving, upsetting. Choose any. To think that there's somebody out there so crazy to pick up a severed limb, take a sniff of it, take a bite out of it. God help us all. All right. There's too much evil going on. There's too much of an evil vibe here. We got to change that. Here's a quick story. Well, this isn't the most pleasant thing in the entire world either, but it's a quick story about a dude who cut loose and escaped from prison over there in Hawaii. And unfortunately, he crossed paths with someone who's even more reckless than he is. And cold-blooded, too. Last Friday, the inmate, a 33-year-old fella called Matthew Ornelas, He upped and escaped from prison around 1 o'clock in the morning. He got out of there. Witnesses here said the guy was running down the highway. I guess that's what he thought was his best route to freedom. But suddenly, out of nowheres, and only after the escaped con had been on the run for about 10 minutes, he got hit by a motor vehicle.
Freedom!
Cat got in.
Got hit by a motor vehicle.
That's bad luck.
And the driver just said, well, F this, and they kept going. And they left the poor guy laid out and mangled on the highway.
Oh.
Damn, man. Cops found this Matthew Ornelas all broken in half on the highway at around 1:10 a.m. So he had about 10 minutes of freedom before he got smoked. And he was not in good shape. Not in good shape. So the cops are still looking for the driver. 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to go ahead and assume that the driver that airmailed this poor guy might have had a good shine on.
I would think so. Sure, that explains why they took off.
I mean, when my folks' yellow lab got run over by a motor vehicle years ago, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday night. My dad and I found her on the highway. She lived, but one of the first things my mother said was, who the hell runs over a dog and then doesn't stop to help? And I said, probably someone who just cleaned out a case of beer at a house party. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I asked the dog, too. Her name was Sarah. I asked Sarah while she was laying on the side of the road, I said, did you get a good look at the driver?
Did you get a plate?
Yeah. And she didn't say squat. Well, she couldn't say anything. She had a blinker bulb in her mouth.
That's evidence right there.
Yeah, she made it. All right, this old bit again. The California Highway Patrol posted something or another on social media to let people know that imaginary friends don't count in the carpool lane.
Did you guys ever have an imaginary friend?
Yeah, I did. I had two.
I didn't. My sister had one.
One was named Alex. That was a guy. And then a girl named Jessica.
How old were you? And are you still friends with them, I guess?
Yeah, do you stay in touch?
No, I was probably in elementary school.
You had two imaginary friends?
Yep.
I'm sorry,
They get along?
Jessica and who?
Alex. Yes, they got along.
They did.
And Josh, your sister?
My sister did, yeah.
What did you know about your sister's imaginary friend?
I don't remember her name, but it was just a girl about her age.
Yeah?
I'm going to guess this was maybe, she might have been in first grade, maybe a little younger.
Anyone else? Imaginary?
I talked to my stuffed animal, my teddy bear, when I was a kid, as if it was like an actual live bear.
As if it was an actual live bear.
Well, yeah, as if like he could respond to me, and as if
he could speak.
Yes, he could speak.
More of a human-like bear.
Yes.
Okay. Because I don't know what a 5-year-old says to an actual bear. You know what I mean? No, I never had any imaginary friends. What about alter egos?
No.
No, I didn't go that route either.
Well, I guess I take that back. When we had our really cool rock star wigs, I became Logan Dakota when I put that thing on.
That was awesome.
Right. We can talk wigs later on in the show. We really can. I forgot what... Toupees, wigs, yeah. I forgot what imaginary character I became when I had my wig at that same boat cruise, but it was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
I forgot what I named.
We were better people when we had those wigs.
That character. There have been two people that I've known over the years who the word I'm looking for is they conjured up alter egos for when they drink heavily. Maybe you've heard of it, right? So they refer to themselves as a different name. So then the next day, if people say, "Who was that drunk idiot?" it's not their real name that gets tossed around.
Sure.
You see where I'm going with that?
Yep. It was Ricky Stanicki.
Right. One of my oldest pals goes by the name, his real name is Joe. His drinking alter ego is Kenny Thompson, ever since we were young guys. So when we're at house parties and he's really intoxicated, if anybody says, "What's your name?" he would say Kenny Thompson. So the next day, no one would say Joe was the awful drunk. I met a female who had the same strategy. Interesting.
So it was more comical, or was it really just to have a fall guy?
It was comical.
It was comical.
Yeah. It was. But
that's pretty funny.
Trust me, Joe, he needed that alibi.
Did he really?
Yes, he did. Kenny Thompson could get a little crazy. All right, here's the deal. Cops in California saying the imaginary friend in the passenger seat doesn't count in the carpool lane. The state of I have no idea what I'm about to say, but I'm going to go ahead anyway. The state of California has a fast track monitor you set yourself according to how many people are in your car. If you set it for 2 or 3, you get a discount on tolls.
It's like an HOV lane, it sounds like.
Well, yeah. I understand the idea of a HOV lane, but do you understand fast track monitor, set yourself, discount on toll? That's the part where I get lost, Wapple.
You probably get a discount if you have more people in your car. So
Yeah,
you
like
can set it to like 4 people in my car. Now I get a bigger discount.
But what I'm lost is set it. What do you mean set it? You make a phone call?
You see, it's like an HOV lane, Nick, where you need to have more than one person in your car.
Right. That part I understand.
Right.
Yeah. I love that.
See, you're driving. You're in a vehicle.
Like in a motor vehicle.
Yes.
On a highway, there are other drivers?
There are, yes.
Trust me, a lot of this is my fault. I don't blame you for thinking I'm that dumb. It's the part where you said... okay, we'll just move on. Some guy over there was using the express lane near San Francisco. His monitor scanned through. See, this is the stuff that I don't get. It said he had 3 people in his car. Cops saw him driving alone. They pulled him over. He had a T-shirt wrapped around his passenger seat with a bucket hat on the headrest. So that was passenger 2, apparently. There was no passenger 3 anywheres in the car. So the Highway Patrol posted an image set to the song You've Got a Friend in Me from Toy Story.
Cute.
Good tune.
Never saw. They said imaginary friends don't count as occupants when setting a fast track transponder. Yesterday, this driver thought he could outsmart our officers on patrol, but he failed. They effed around and found out, didn't they, Josh?
Yeah, they found out.
Take a guess what the fine is for lying to the cops with your transponder and whatever I'm not understanding.
$150.
$238.
$238. I like to think it's that specific.
I'm a little worried I'm going to get one of those tickets. I never really take a road that has one of those. Where I go, I don't really go anywhere. But I was on 35 and I realized, oh, geez, I'm 5 minutes. I thought everything was good. I didn't even realize the HOV lane thing was still going, right? And I had 5 minutes to spare, and it looked like it took a picture of me. So do they send? I don't know. Do they send tickets for something like that?
I don't know.
If they do, and anybody from the Department of Public Safety is listening, I had 2 people you just couldn't see in the back.
They were ducking
hiding
down.
Yeah, they're camera shy.
That's something.
Felt like a moron. I forgot about those things.
There are a couple other people in our listening audience who have come up with alter egos, identities, separate identities for when they're drinking. One guy called himself Wayne Nicholas. Hello, I'm Wayne. Wayne what? Wayne Nicholas. Another one, Calvin Mitchell. Who was that guy that kicked everybody's ass and vomited it all over the bathroom? Calvin Mitchell. We had we started talking about imaginary friends and whatnot. I forgot about our imaginary friend growing up, Fred Burton.
I was going to ask about Fred Burton.
I forgot all about Fred Burton.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was more just like a figurehead for your group of people or what.
It was the oddest thing. This friend of mine, when we were growing up,
you used to draw him all the time.
Yes. Well, that's how it started. A friend of mine, when we were young, anytime there was a piece of paper and a pencil sitting around and we were just doing nothing, this is like grade school stuff, he would draw this funny profile of a character and then he'd write Fred Burton. That was his character, that he drew it everywhere. As we got older, we started to use that name whenever we were in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like in a pinch, when a teacher said, "Who was that?" we'd say Fred Burton. That was Fred did it, you know. So that was like, I guess we did have an imaginary friend along the way. Oh my God, that took us all the way through high school. We were still dumping his name for things that we did wrong, you know, in a pinch. We would say, you know, don't talk to us, talk to Fred Burton. Who is that? Is he a senior? We'd say, I don't know. Yeah, he's a...
Dry-aged ribeye Jesus said his drinking alter ego was Roberto LaBenga.
Oh,
man.
That's sexy.
Yeah, that's spicy right there.
Steve Cranberry.
Yeah, I like that one. From Finisher Jesus.
All right, well, it was one of those damn days for a Vietnamese fella last week. Poor guy. A foot-long eel slithered up into his bottom and perforated his bowels for him.
Oh.
And he doesn't know how this happened, he says.
I don't know how that got in there.
Swear to you, Doc.
Maybe it was chasing the light bulb. Attracted to it.
Now, some are saying that eels just don't enter somebody's back door like it's looking to hide from predators. Some are saying this dude must have fired the eel up there on purpose. So you go ahead and make your own call on that argument. The effing guy, okay, so there he went, walking into a hospital last week, and oh my damn, did he have a bellyache. He did. The doctors... They dump one of those x-rays on the guy, and they spotted the eel swimming laps in the dude's guts. They cut the guy's ass and guts open, and they haul out the eel. And the eel was still alive!
Oh, that is sick.
Oh.
That was the thing, according to the story, that really threw the doctors. They grabbed that eel with a set of... what do you call these things, John? Tongs.
Just release it back in the water then?
I don't know what they did with the damn thing.
But you don't want a butt-hungry eel out there.
They grabbed it out of there with some tongs, and the thing was still trying to, get away. The eel had kind of a what the hell happened look on his face. And that's why some folks think the Vietnamese guy might have keistered this eel without its permission. Did you see the look on that eel's face, Josh? It was very confused.
Yeah. I think the eel knows how we got there.
Yep.
Yeah, if only the eel could talk. Get his side of the story.
The dude might have dropped dead if he hadn't swung by the hospital. The doctors say he was a goner. The eel was pissed, and it was biting holes in the dude's intestines and whatnot. And I'd be pissed too if he put me up there without asking me first.
Yeah.
And the funny part, when the doctors asked the guy how the hell this happened, he didn't really know.
I don't know. Things just, they happen.
He didn't know.
That's all you need to know.
I don't know.
Again, that's one of those things you have to say that.
Yes.
You can never admit that you put that eel up your butt. Oh, geez, Jesus said, damn. They take fantasy football leagues pretty serious over in Vietnam. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, that's a punishment.
All right, loser takes an eel up the butt.
God, I thought it was golden this year.
Dang. All right, this is my first time going over something like this here. Our next topic. I'm a first-timer with this one. It's about a condition that makes everyone appear to look evil. Meaning, when you look at someone, they look evil or satanic. Everyone else sees their normal face, but if you have this condition, you see an evil face. It's called demon face syndrome, and it's awful, awful rare. You ever heard anything like that before?
No. It sounds awful.
A dude in Tennessee by the name of Victor Shera has this problem. He sees monsters, evil faces everywhere when he looks at people. And there's a pack of scientists out there, Summers, that are just starting to figure this deal out. It's brand new, groundbreaking stuff, don't you know? Victor first realized something was wrong back in the year 20 plus 20. He noticed his roommate looking all disfigured to him. Then he went outside and noticed that everyone else that he looked at had a warped appearance too, like an effing acid trip that you can't shake. He reportedly has perfect vision, this Shara guy. He said, I was really freaking out. I was going to go have myself committed. And in the end, he has this condition. The medical condition, I'd have no chance at saying it out loud. PMO, just try to remember PMO. That's how they abbreviate it. It's a bizarre affliction that visually distorts faces, making them appear satanic. Everyone has an evil satanic smile on their face. It can last for days or weeks or even years. Only 75 cases have been recorded.
I wonder if it's ever gone the other way, if somebody's ever been born with it, and then all of a sudden you start seeing faces normally, and then what somebody would think.
Jesus.
That'd be trippy.
Yeah.
Because this one's bad. If you're used to how faces usually are.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys look at the renderings of what he sees?
Yeah, it's up on 93x.com too.
Terrifying.
Yeah, they were able to create visual representations of what this guy was seeing. And it is really, really bizarre. And I think they did a good job in the story describing like an evil satanic smile.
Yeah.
Deep grooves in the forehead and cheeks and chin. This is what he sees. And then the evil smile, the evil eyes. He doesn't see, there's no distortion when he looks at objects like a house or a car. He doesn't see it on a television screen or in a magazine. Also, when he sees these distorted faces, it doesn't come along with delusional beliefs that this person is a monster. He knows, like if I looked at Josh and I know it's just Josh. So that's the good news, I guess, is that he doesn't think he's being attacked by Satan or something. He knows that's just a regular person, but why is their face like that? It's a hell of a deal. It's a problem that people often don't understand, is the theme here of the story. The cause of this condition isn't known.
Got a text that said, guy with the demon face syndrome needs to just strap his phone to his face with the happy face filter on it. Problem solved. That's all. He's got to put a filter on there.
There you go.
And, a couple people are wondering, in the movies, if that happened, it would be someone who has a gift to see the real evil.
Oh, right.
Was it Grimm? The TV show Grimm, I think someone had that.
Not sure. Never saw that one.
Where they can see the true evil in someone.
I don't know that one. Never saw it.
Mm-mm.
So the researchers trying to help this Shara guy out, they, like I said, they don't know the cause, but they do note here that the dude bumped his head in a car crash. He had a head injury in the past, and he at one point or another, he had carbon monoxide poisoning. So they're looking into maybe that could be the reason. The Shara guy says he's still battling this issue, but he's gotten used to it and hopes it will just go away on its own someday. Everywhere you look, evil faces. All right, one more here real quick. This is cute. Students at a Vermont college are preparing, they say here, to get white and nerdy while taking a new class on Weird Al Yankovic.
That'd be awesome.
Awesome.
That'd be really cool.
Best class ever.
This is Vermont State University. There's a class college kids can take all about Weird Al. I guess there's college classes on Taylor Swift these days. So
Yes.
the guy who's teaching the Weird Al class says Weird Al's just as worthy a subject as this Taylor Swift gal.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be a lot of fun.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Well, it starts with the great hands. Jovan Black.
I don't know what we're yelling about! Loud noises!
Here we go now. That gal had some lungs on her.
Oh, you're not kidding.
Goodness.
That was
Last night,
uncomfortable.
It was pissing some folks off.
I could see why, especially if it kept going on. Man.
Folks who were watching the Grand Canyon, Alabama basketball broadcast. kept hearing this gal just scream her ass off, and it caused folks to jump on, surprisingly enough, it caused folks to jump on social media and attack her. But it was a lot of fun. Grand Canyon lost, but that gal gave her all.
Left it all out there.
Yeah, she wins fan of the week.
My God. When Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder duck in here shortly, we'll talk all about that silly basketball tournament. Golden Gopher men's season is over. The Wolves game last night was ass ugly. Golden Gopher hockey knows where they're playing in the tournament coming up here in a few days. NCAA men's hockey, they know what the hell's going on there. So we got plenty to cover. We got to take a break, come back for Josh's news report.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Our customers are our top priority, whether that's providing same-day service or solving a cooling issue for that addition on your home. Ashley, tell our listeners about this month's AC specials.
Get started on your spring cleaning checklist now. With the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to get your AC tuned up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.
Afford Anything talks about how to avoid common pitfalls, how to refine your mental models, and how to think about how to think.
If you sacrifice your dream for the sake of satisfying someone else, that can often lead to ongoing resentment, which then poisons a relationship. Subtly, slowly, but it does. And if he doesn't want to let you down, then your dreams matter. Afford Anything, wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
All we know uncovered about the victim, he is just generally a nice guy that you would probably want dating your daughter.
Well, at least one person didn't feel that way. A 47-year-old California pastor named Samuel Pasilas, who was arrested for hiring a hitman to kill his daughter's boyfriend, apparently didn't like him. Riverside police arrested the disgraced man of God last week after determining he ordered the attempted murder of a man dating his daughter. The victim was sitting in his car October 21st when he was shot multiple times from a vehicle that pulled up alongside his. The shooters quickly drove away, but the victim survived by driving himself to a nearby hospital.
You gotta be kidding me.
He couldn't provide investigators with too much information about his would-be killers, but 5 months later, police concluded the incident was a murder-for-hire shooting orchestrated by his girlfriend's dad. Police say the pastor met with the two alleged gunmen, paid them about $40,000, and provided information on the victim's whereabouts the night of the shooting. As for the reason for wanting the man dead, apparently he said he just didn't approve of his daughter dating him, and since he couldn't convince her to break up, he went for a more extreme approach.
There is nothing to suggest that this victim did anything or had anything in their background that would elicit, his girlfriend's father to even think of doing something like that.
Jesus, what a lunatic.
Last month in Missouri, a middle school principal admitted to hiring a hitman to try and take out a teacher pregnant with his child.
Oh. Some dads, they don't handle that whole deal well when their daughter, starts running around town being an adult.
Yeah, a little overprotective, I'd say.
I've been lucky. I've never been with a gal whose father gave me even a tiny, even little bit of that vibe. What about you boys?
Yeah, I'm the same way, thankfully.
Never encountered that kind of a thing.
That would be a nightmare, dating somebody where their parents just despise you.
I had the closest would be I had a girlfriend's dad who was very specific about what he would and wouldn't approve of.
Is that right? Explain this to me.
He told me if I ever parked a Chrysler product in his driveway, I was no longer welcome at his home.
Typical dad move. Love that.
Here we go.
And the thing is, he wasn't kidding. At the time, Chrysler, right? You cannot, if you ever do, you're done. You're never allowed in my home.
Oh, wow. Man, you should have pulled up the crappiest LeBaron in town and just said, what are you going to do, tough guy? Huh?
He also didn't. He also was against Fleet Farm, which I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah, that's odd.
What was this guy's problem?
I don't know.
Some strange hills to be dying on over there, dude.
You know the family.
I do?
Yeah, a little too close. An Ohio woman's charged, but I didn't mean to make that sound scandalous. But I was giving you the hint of who it was. Yeah.
I know what you mean.
All right.
I know who you're talking about.
An Ohio woman is charged with felonious assault after police say she cut up a man's arm with a sword. 12:15 a.m., March 17th, police responded to a report of unknown trouble and found a drunken man on the front porch bleeding heavily from his arm. He was so drunk, in fact, he couldn't tell police what happened. Reports say there was a large amount of blood on the porch and in the driveway, and when they made their way inside, they saw 25-year-old Zaire Smith being restrained by another man. That man restraining Smith said she and the victim began arguing, and the man tried to take his things and leave, but Smith grabbed her sword. The two began to struggle as the victim tried to disarm her, leading to him being cut several times on his arm. After several minutes, the injured man was able to grab the sword and throw it into the yard. Smith, who seems to be a tad hot-tempered, was banging her head against a holding cell wall when police tried to book her.
Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. I guess I've really been lucky. Never dated a gal with an overprotective father, and never dated a gal who owned a sword.
Yeah, I have. I've never had any violence in a relationship, thankfully. An Indiana woman's accused of holding a dryer repairman at gunpoint after he told her that he couldn't accept a warranty repair. 43-year-old Reba Wilson couldn't handle that.
Dryer repair guy.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, he ain't got enough problems. Now he's got some lunatic. What did she do? Try to kill him?
Yeah, she did shoot at him.
She shot at him. Okay.
43-year-old Reba Wilson told the man who came to fix her dryer last Monday that a previous company told her machine was under warranty. The repairman said he couldn't honor another company's warranty, which turned out badly for the poor guy.
Mm-hmm.
She refused to pay for the repair and told the man to fix her machine or put it back together. The worker said he'd be happy to fix it if she paid his $70 fee.
She said, I don't want to pay that. I said, well, I don't work for free, so I went to leave. She pointed a gun at me and forced me to stay there and said, you're going to fix my dryer.
Wilson threatened to call the police, blocked the door so the repairman was unable to leave, then pointed the gun at him and told him to sit down. The repairman ran. As she said, I'll pop a cap in your ass, before firing shots in his direction.
I went out the back door and she said some bad stuff to me and shot at me as I was running away.
Wilson was arrested last Wednesday.
So many effing people out there need some serious damn help, and right now. Right now.
Because the warranty expired. Oh, boy. A handyman accused of masturbating over a tenant's underwear in southeastern England has been acquitted, believe it or not. And they've got video of him doing it. In other words, it appears the masturbating handyman got off. Hold on as I put on these sunglasses. 55-year-old Simon Lawrence was called to fix a faulty washing machine when he entered Thomas Jones and Joanna Hatton's bedroom, not realizing the couple had installed a camera there to watch their cat. Sure. Lawrence told the court he'd gone into the bedroom because the landlady asked him to check the soffits at the front of the house, which he did from the bedroom window. But he said he became aroused when he saw a pair of Joanna Hatton's underwear on the floor.
He did?
And he said then he got more out of her dresser. Once he finished, he put the underwear back in the drawer. Lawrence said he thought it was private, and he had no idea he was on camera.
Private? You're in somebody else's house.
Right, but how's he supposed to know? Video of him masturbating was later circulated around parents in the area concerned he was employed by a nearby school. He told the court, a lot of my work was in the area with regular customers, but that ended when the story of me masturbating to her underwear got out. It's possible I'll have to sell our house because we can't live here anymore. I'm extremely apologetic for what I did, the literal jerk-off said. Lawrence was charged with criminal damage, even though no physical damage had been done to the garments. When ruling Lawrence wasn't guilty, the judge said, while this was, of course, a disturbing and distressing action which has understandably left the complainant feeling violated and repulsed, I cannot be satisfied that this was something that you would have known. Based on being not sure of the intention or recklessness in this case, I dismiss the matter. You can go.
We all should be lucky enough to get this damn judge when we screw up.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, this is the one you want. Unbelievable.
He whacked off at somebody's house.
They've got video. He admitted it.
Yeah.
You're free to go.
Maybe this judge is somebody who likes to go to strangers' house and masturbate there, so he wants to kind of set a precedent,
Yeah.
Well, the judge said, it's one of those things when, like, a parent says, hey, the punishment is how bad you feel. And sometimes that can be debilitating, but you're still thinking, oh, I got off on this one, so to speak. Yeah.
That is a hell of a story, Cubby.
So she told him, I know how bad you feel. Your business has been affected, so get out of here, kid.
It's so fascinating, too, that the whacker offer guy's in court saying, hey, what about me?
Yeah. I didn't know they were taping me.
I've lost my business. I can't pay the rent. Well, maybe you shouldn't have dumped a load in a stranger's home. He's over there crying, isn't he, Cubby?
He is, and it worked. A California pervert allegedly filmed 91 unsuspecting people with a hidden camera, secretly hidden inside a coffee shop bathroom.
You think you have privacy, then you find out you don't. It's horrible. Because we've used the restroom quite a lot. We were here last week.
Luis Juarez Jr. is suspected of placing the camera underneath the bathroom sink of a Starbucks in San Jose, propping the device to face the toilet. The camera had been recording between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m., where victims whose ages range from 4 to 85 were filmed before an employee made the disturbing discovery.
This recording is graphic and includes multiple juvenile victims fully exposed.
Police said other miscellaneous micro cameras were also found at his home.
It's sickening. It is a feeling of being violated, and this is wrong. I'm glad they caught the person, and I hope the hammer comes down hard on them.
Well, wait a minute. No one wants to consider the problems of the person who set up those cameras? I mean, his grandmother's really mad at him. He might have to go get his own place now.
Well, hopefully when he goes to court, they'll sort this out and be reasonable. In another California bathroom-related story, Fresno High School has a controversial way of ensuring students don't spend more than a second over their allotted 7 minutes for bathroom breaks by meticulously tracking and timing breaks with an app, which parents say invades privacy.
If they have to go to the bathroom, let them go to the bathroom. It's preposterous. You think it's a joke.
And there's crapper controversy in Coventry, England. Metal barriers have been installed inside a high school to stop students from using the bathroom outside of designated times. Parents have described them as cage doors and saying that officials have gone too far. However, the school has refuted that claim, stating the barriers are not cages and the doors are unlocked before and after school, as well as at break and lunchtime.
That would suck.
I hate to lose my cool on the air, but if someone doesn't stop breathing and rubbing their face on the microphone, I'm going to light this radio station on fire. Someone is rubbing their face and breathing on the microphone, and it's Monday, and I can't handle it. Please, back away. Whoever it is, back away from your damn... I'm trying to listen to the news.
You got to take your face off the mic. I know the guilty party, by the way. Better be good to me, otherwise I'm going to spill the beans.
I'm sorry I blew up. I couldn't handle it anymore.
You do get a detailed review of your respiratory system.
Yes.
I'd suggest stop vaping. An old-fashioned gunfight erupted outside a Florida home when a dad grabbed his pistol and joined a deputy exchanging gunfire with a suspect. It happened around 9:40 p.m. Tuesday. It began as a case of a domestic battery by a man identified as Morgan Garcia, accused of violating a restraining order. The deputy encountered Garcia in the backyard of the wooded property, armed with an AR-15, and ordered him to drop his weapon, but Garcia didn't want to. So instead, he took cover and began firing shots toward the cop, who did return fire. The victim's father, fearing for his family's lives, retrieved his handgun and joined the firefight happening in his yard. Garcia fired multiple times at the home's door in an attempt to reach family members, taking cover. While unsuccessful at breaching the door, he broke through a window with the end of his rifle before fleeing on foot. He was captured Wednesday afternoon when a tip led deputies to his location. Luckily, no serious injuries were reported. Glad that worked out. I mean,
well, sure.
I would think maybe, the cop would be like, what the hell? There's another guy shooting.
He's just leading the charge.
And he gets shot, man. Yeah. Dramatic video captured a Brevard County, Florida sheriff's deputy saving her canine partner after, for some reason, he jumped from a 75-foot high bridge. This video's on 93x.com.
The dog took a dive off a 75-foot bridge?
Well, yeah, he didn't make it, luckily, but he did get over the side. Video shows Deputy Lauren Donaldson returning to her vehicle following an arrest when Canine Zeppelin suddenly leapt over the guardrail and off the bridge. Donaldson is seen tightly holding onto the dog's lead, then reaching over the railing to pull him back. A Facebook post from the sheriff's office read, Lauren's rescue of her beloved partner is even more amazing when you consider Zeppelin weighs about 75 pounds and Lauren weighs 122 pounds soaking wet and holding a bowling ball, the sheriff's office said. Yet somehow she managed to not panic and pull Zeppelin to safety.
So the harness or the leash or whatever around this dog's neck saved its life.
Yeah, thankfully. And she was quick to hold on to him. A spokesperson for the sheriff's office said without Lauren's fast action, there's no question Zeppelin would have fallen about 75 feet into the Indian River and most likely to his death. Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey said he's still mad at Zeppelin for giving everyone a huge scare, but is grateful that he's unharmed.
I don't get why he tried to do this.
I don't know.
I've watched the video like a couple times, like trying to figure it out. It just makes no sense.
Ghost?
Thought, whoop, I'm going to jump right over here.
Sometimes dogs just do stuff, you know.
That was odd. A California police department made headlines last week for creatively adding Lego heads to mug shots in order to abide by new state privacy laws. But the same department is making headlines again today because when Lego heard about what the department was up to them, everything was not awesome, and they asked them to stop. Marietta Police Department Lieutenant Jeremy Durant said in a statement, Lego Group requested they stop using Lego heads in social media posts. In an Instagram post last Tuesday, the Marietta Police Department explained it was placing Lego head images over suspects' faces to mask their identities, in accordance with state law, which went into effect at the beginning of the year. The new law, Assembly Bill 994 and Penal Code 13665, now prohibits law enforcement from sharing suspect photos for nonviolent crimes. Durant said, we are currently exploring other methods to continue publishing our content in a way that is engaging and interesting to our followers. That's too bad. Those were funny. I enjoyed looking at those. A pickup truck driver who crashed into a report impairment driver's sign on Vancouver Island last week appears to have been impaired himself. Authorities said a witness reported seeing the Ford F-350 drive on a sidewalk at high speed and strike the sign Thursday night.
And the sign said, report impaired drivers?
Yeah. So he was just reporting himself, I guess. Authorities said there was debris left behind at the collision site after the guy took off, and unfortunately for the inebriated Canadian, that included the pickup's license plate. The driver is being investigated for impaired driving.
Friggin' Canadians. You heard it here first.
Man. I guess, you got to get out and make sure your license plate's still attached. Seems like they're pretty good at figuring that one out if you make it easy.
I forget that one. I would.
If you're drunk, you know, you're obviously making bad decisions already when you're behind the wheel, so sure.
I forget to check my plates.
Congratulations to the Cannon Falls robotics team. Just placed 7th out of 54 teams at a recent tournament and are headed to the World Championships in Houston next month.
Josh's next ride along.
That'd be great.
With the Cannon Falls robotics team.
Heck yeah, that'd be awesome. Let's see. Bush Light by the Pallet Jesus wants to wish I Lick Rocks Jesus a happy birthday. Happy 18th birthday to Heidi from Dad, just north of Sexy Quamba Jesus. And that's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver.
I think that he has kind of a sick mind.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Blue Devils, Boilermakers, Blue Jays, Bulldogs, Crimson Tide, Huskies, Tigers, Wildcats, Wolfpack Fighting Illini, Volunteers, Cyclones, Tar Heels, Aztecs, Cougars, Golden Eagles. Every March the same routine. Take my bracket and douse it in gasoline. The Sweet 16.
All right, here we go on this beautiful Monday morning. Hope everyone's getting around town best they can. We got Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder on the line. How's it going, boys?
Good morning.
It's going good.
I was chuckling my ass off watching your news broadcast, Randy Shaver, because I'm watching you talk about this and that, and I'm saying
to myself, last night?
Yeah, last night.
Yeah.
I'm saying to myself, every minute that goes by, Randy's that much closer to battling the roadways all the way back to his palatial old folks home. How did that go for you, Randy?
It was slow going last night, but survived. So.
Yeah, here we're getting our asses whooped by a little spring storm.
I decided to do my teaching on Zoom today, so I'm at home.
Just give the kids the day off.
Yeah, it's good.
No.
That's a day off.
Wow.
Trust me.
No.
Brad Ryder knows these friggin' young people. They're SAWFT soft.
That's right.
Storm shouldn't give you a day off, right, Brad Ryder?
Get on the computer. Let's go.
That's right. There you go. Yeah, we're getting whooped. But I don't know. By Thursday or Friday, it'll be a damn distant memory. Just hopefully everyone gets where they need to go this morning without any trouble. What do you think of that big fat-ass college basketball tournament, huh? We got down to the Sweet 16 over the weekend. Oh, I don't know. Would Oakland beating Kentucky be the only really massive upset so far?
I would say, yeah.
To that level, yeah.
Yes.
Oakland beating Kentucky in the opening rounds, probably the biggest so far. I'll give you the quick rundown of the matchups after this weekend's results. Houston, Duke, NC State, Marquette, Purdue, Gonzaga. That ought to be something. Creighton, Tennessee. And we go over the other side of the bracket. Clemson, Arizona, North Carolina, Alabama, Iowa State, and Illinois.
Yes.
Looking forward to that game.
Yeah, this would be a great game.
So one Randy Shaver's looking forward to, being a former Iowegian State athlete.
This is the year that if you have a hard time picking upsets, because normally this tournament will have its fair share.
Right.
If you have a hard time picking upsets and you pick mostly favorites and it drives you crazy because you know that this is not probably going to help you win the bracket, this actually would be the year you have a fighting chance when you pick the teams that are supposed to win.
Right.
Because most of them did. James Madison obviously upset Wisconsin. The Kentucky.
That was hilarious, by the way. Friday night, watching
Yes.
Wisconsin lose to James Madison was hilarious.
Yeah, they did not look good.
I love
did not
when
look like the
Badger-
same team that played in the Big Ten final.
When Badger ball clubs lose big games, I'm a happy guy. I am. The final matchup we missed there, UConn and San Diego State. So they'll get her going again Thursday. Now, that Grand Canyon game last night, who did they play again, Grand Canyon?
Alabama. Yeah.
Did you hear what Charles Barkley had to say about the Grand Canyon Ball Club?
It was a mess. He was right, though.
Grand Canyon, that was the dumbest game of basketball I may have ever seen. I'm not sure what they were doing offensively. That was some of the worst basketball decisions that you're ever going to see a college team make out there.
5 assists on the night.
5 whole assists?
Yeah.
Well, you got
32% and 2 for 20.
Hey, let me say this. We got a crack staff, and they found 5 passes.
So Grand Canyon wasn't sharing the basketball last night. A lot of one-on-one play from what I'm reading.
It was all isolation. It's like they never ran a play. They never did anything cohesively as a group on the offensive side. It was amazing.
What the hell was going on there? It'd be like watching.
I don't know.
That's part of why I bitch about the Timberwolves sometimes. Is too much one-on-one.
If they'd have shot the ball better, they would have won the game. They were like 2 for 20, I think.
Yeah,
Some of the dumbest basketball I've ever seen from grown college men, Charles Barkley said. 5 assists on 18 made field goals. They made only 2 3-point baskets out of 20 attempts. Boy, how'd they get as far as they did?
Good question.
He was probably frustrated because he wanted them to win because they were playing Alabama, and he's an Auburn guy.
Oh, right. Sure. You're exactly right, Brad Ryder. Question, Brad Ryder, when you do Zoom classes, do you wear pants? A couple of listeners want to know if you put on.
Well, you're going to have to join my classes to find out, I guess.
Could I sit in on one of your classes?
Technically, but I'm not sure I'd want to. I'd want you to.
I wouldn't say nothing.
Well, I've been on plenty of Zoom calls with Nick. He doesn't say a word on purpose.
No, I don't. No, I'm the least
so
likely
if you do a Zoom class.
Yeah, Josh is referencing whenever we have Zoom meetings, I never make a sound, and it's on purpose.
I don't even bother turning the microphone on.
I want to create even more awkwardness by not making a single sound. So I wouldn't bother you, Brad. I just want to.
Yeah, I'd have to send you the link.
Well, Josh could show me what that means.
It just looks like we put a poster up of Nick in front of the camera.
Yeah, I'm not saying nothing. Yeah. My facial expressions aren't going to change, no matter what the conversation is. It's the only way I can have fun during a Zoom meeting, is put the pressure on everybody else to talk.
Yes. God, they can get awkward.
Gonzaga has tied an NCAA record with their 9th consecutive Sweet 16 appearance. That's 9 in a row this year. They're always friggin' there. And they're scoring a lot of points. One thing I've noticed so far in the tournament, I believe I'm correct about this, Gonzaga's putting a lot of points. Maybe they could get rid of Purdue along the way.
That'd be a great game. Purdue played really well the other night. Obviously, they've got the big guy, Zach Edey. And
didn't help them last year, but yeah.
Got some great pieces around him. Well, I think they're playing a lot better defensively than they did a year ago at this time, but should be a great game.
All right, here's the deal. Name the other 2 schools that have made it to 9 consecutive Sweet 16s. Go.
UNC?
Yes.
Kansas?
No.
Duke?
Yes. And that's the end of that. Only 3 teams have done that. North Carolina, Duke, and now Gonzaga.
Used to be, when Dan Munson was at Gonzaga, that was a program that was just starting to kind of be known nationally, Yeah, he's the one that kind of got it off the ground, right?
Yeah, he got them to their first one, and then he got them actually to the Elite Eight for the first time.
And that's what got him the job at the U.
Yeah, exactly, precisely. Yep, and then he got the job at the U, and then Few took over, and then he took it from there.
Yeah. Does anyone else remember this? And I'm sure the answer is no. Maybe Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver. The year before Dan Munson came to Minnesota, Gonzaga played the Golden Gophers in the NCAA tournament. Maybe it was the NIT. I don't remember, but it was a tournament game the year before. And at the time, the Golden Gophers had Dusty Reichert, otherwise known as the Moondog. If you're an old Golden Gopher basketball fan, you know who I'm talking about. Dusty Reichert did not look the part, but did he not have a couple of great years with the Golden Gophers?
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
He did not.
He made the most out of his talent.
Absolutely. But if you ask Big Al about this, because he and I are sitting there watching Golden Gophers Gonzaga, Munson's coaching Gonzaga, and Dusty Reichert was doing to Gonzaga what he did to everyone else that season. Took him by surprise, and he's just pouring in points. During the game, the crowd was kind of quiet, and you heard Dan Munson say as clear as day to his team about Dusty Reichert. He said, "Cover him, put a body on him. He's terrible." And the following year, he signs up to coach the Golden Gopher. And I've always wondered Reichert heard that comment out on the court. Everybody heard him say it. I wonder if they ever had a conversation about that.
Just look at the box score. He had 23 points that game. It was an NCAA tournament game.
It was a tournament game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we had Dusty Reichert in studio, didn't we, Josh? Back in his he was such a nice kid, and I almost beat him in Papa Shot.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Almost beat the Moondog in Papa Shot. He was one of my favorite all-time Golden Gophers just because he came out of nowhere. He was from the same
Duluth East.
But I thought he grew up in the same town as McHale.
Oh, in Hibbing?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Fair enough. Oh, no, here's where I'm going with that. Okay. They didn't go to the same school. But Reichert was just this kind of harmless-looking dude who, like Brad said, he made the most of his opportunity. Josh, you remember when we were walking around Willem Arena and our sales guy, Smiling Don, almost got me killed by Kevin McHale?
Yes. Don was good at that kind of stuff.
Me and Cubby and Smiling Don are walking through the legendary confines of Willem Arena. We're going to see the Golden Gophers during Dusty Reichert's time there. Dan Munson was a coach. Dusty Reichert. What Don knew that Josh and I didn't know is that Kevin McHale was walking directly behind us. Josh and I didn't see him. Smiling Don did. And Smiling Don knew that Cubby and I were big Dusty Reichert fans, so Smiling Don says this loud as hell. Hey, who do you guys think is the best Golden Gopher ever from the Iron Range? The best Golden Gopher basketball player to ever come out of the Iron Range. And I said, well, hell, it's Dusty Reichert. And Kevin McHale kind of brushes past us and goes, real funny.
That's a great story.
I looked this up because I thought this was the case. They beat Minnesota. They beat the Gophers on the day of when the academic fraud story hit. That was the same day.
Oh, wow.
And we had to suspend. I was there at the time, so I vaguely remember this. I'm trying to get it out of my memory, but it still keeps coming back. We had to suspend 4 players that morning. We were without 4 of our starters, and Dusty was the only starter that played.
Didn't one player have to like burn a red shirt because they needed a body?
I don't remember who it was.
That was.
We had to suspend Miles Tarver, Kevin Clark. Who else? There was a couple other guys. We had to suspend them, and so we had four players that played significant minutes suspended for an NCAA tournament game. And then Gonzaga beat us, and then went on to the Elite Eight, fired Clem, and we hired Munson.
Wow. Along with the North Stars leaving town, unless I'm forgetting something, I mean, just one of the most devastating days.
Yep.
For me personally, as a sports fan, when they wiped that 97 team off the record books. Absolutely devastating.
Yep.
Because that was a great basketball team, a great coach in Clem Haskin, and just simply some of the most glorious times I've ever had here as a sports fan. We partied our balls off. We had such a great time following those teams.
I've always wondered what happened to that Final Four banners, because they had the banner hanging in Williams Arena for a while. They had to take it down, obviously.
I know where it is.
Well, let's go get it.
I don't have the keys to Williams anymore.
We had such a riot, and that run that they had, again, I know, I'm sorry, most of you don't care and you don't remember, but when they beat UCLA and clinched that trip to the Final Four, I mean, you should have seen us. We were at a bar in Long Lake, Flat Pie Red Eye, which then, I've had this problem before. West Metro people. Flat Pie Red Eye in Long Lake became what? What was it called? Oh, Larry's Lounge. At the time, it was called Larry's Lounge. We just had a riot drinking beer and watching that club. And if Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder might remember, the best game of that run, they played Clemson, and they went into one. Dana, maybe look this up if you can.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe you can't because the record's been wiped off of the face of the. I believe that was an overtime.
Overtime. Yeah.
Was it 2 overtimes?
I think it was double overtime.
Against Clemson. We watched that game at Billy's Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Just a riot. And it made me so sad when they gassed all records of that basketball club. Absolute shame.
Yeah, double overtime, 90 to 84.
But Gopher fans will always remember it.
Yes, I will.
And they will
always cherish it.
It may not be official, but they will always say that is still part of the legacy of the University of Minnesota.
Without a doubt.
Yep.
And even go back to, the Kevin Lynch, Willie Burton, Melvin Newbern, the late 80s, early 90s, also just so much fun.
Played Arizona in the Final Four.
No, they played
lost that game.
Kentucky.
They lost to Kentucky.
Oh, you're right. Arizona played Kentucky in the final. You're right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Golden Gopher dudes. The Golden Gopher dudes. We talked about a couple times here lately that they made a lot of progress this season. Congratulations to Ben Johnson and those kids, but they did get beat yesterday.
They just didn't look like they were fired up to be there. I don't know. Maybe it was just me watching them. Certainly, the injury to Hawkins didn't help.
Right.
But they just didn't. It just didn't feel like they were in the game.
Well, I'll tell you this: the Sycamores are a really, really good ball club. They
deserve to be in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, they absolutely. They play good defense. They move the ball really well. They shoot the three. But I have to say this: my first experience watching Rob Avila. Also known as Steph Blurry, Milk Chamberlain, Larry Nerd.
Not impressed.
That was all very underwhelming, wasn't it, Randy Shaver?
I was not impressed.
There are 2 or 3 guys on his own team that are 5 times the ball player he is. What a scam.
and maybe it was just the game, and maybe it just wasn't his.
Maybe playing other competition, he's better. I don't know.
I didn't think he did a lot for them.
No.
I wasn't impressed with the way he.
I'm embarrassed that I ever backed Steph Blurry. What an absolute scam that was.
Yeah, not impressed.
U.S. Army Rappel Master Jesus. Larry's Lounge had the best pizza in the state. It was sad to see them close. Word up, U.S. Army Rappel Master Jesus. I love that effing bar. And they let us act like animals.
It's the best kind of bar.
We were animals in that place. My dad had a buddy named the Dirty Beauty. Haven't seen him in years. The Dirty Beauty. He used to go drink at Flat Pie Red Eye, which became Larry's Lounge. And one time, my Dirty Beauty called my dad and said, "I drank too much. You got to come pick me up." Beauty was drinking out at the Flat Pie. And when my dad walked in the bar, Beauty didn't have a shirt on. Sitting at the bar without his shirt on.
That's the best kind.
And he had a lady in his lap. And my dad said, "What the hell's going on?" And he said, "We're pretending we're in Mazatlan." "And this is my mamacita." My dad had to put him in the truck, give him a ride home. No shirt on at the bar. Boys state basketball champions from over the weekend. 4A, Minnetonka. 3A, Totino Grace. They've won 3 straight.
Yep.
2A, Breck. 1A, Cherry. Up there by speaking of Hibbing, isn't that up by Hibbing, I think? Cherry.
That kid for Cherry is going to be with the Gophers next year. He's a good player.
Which one was that?
Isaac. Is it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name.
I saw the kid, Isaac, yeah.
Really good player.
There are a lot of good players. I watched, as much as I could. That tournament's come a long way.
Well, the quality of play in this state is
boys
just
and girls.
Unbelievable
right now. It is.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's off the charts.
I hate to say this because hockey fans will probably chew me a little bit, but this is also a basketball state. It's not just a hockey state.
Oh, without a doubt.
There are so many really good Division I girls and boys basketball players in the state, far more than I can ever remember covering them over the last 40 years. It's amazing.
30 to 40 years ago, if you had one Division I player in the state, it was big news. It was huge news.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've got dozens every year.
You're right. Oh, the ladies' college basketball tournament's going on too right now. Okay, I haven't tuned in.
Tonight, she plays. Caitlin Clark plays tonight.
Okay, I'm glad you brought up Caitlin Clark. Well, I don't know what else we would bring up, but did you see the elbow that she took to the face?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
In a game against Holy Cross in the tournament? Did everyone see the elbow?
I did not see
it.
Was it
I did. It was purposeful.
Oh,
it
hell
was?
yes, it was on purpose.
For sure.
I think the other gals playing college basketball have had about enough of this Caitlin Clark.
I'm sure you're right.
Oh, that gal from Holy Cross just said, why don't you eat this for...
It was just like a train running through.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Dude, they're sick of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
She kind of puts her arms up like, I didn't do anything. Who did that?
Gave her the old forearm shiver, but I didn't do anything wrong.
Get your ass out of here. Go play in the WNBA is what these other gals are tired of this Caitlin Clark stuff. Oh, man. All right, the majority of last night's Wolves-Warriors game was ass ugly. But ass ugly ball games always look a little bit better when you win. Timberwolves were able to beat stupid Golden State by 4 last night. They matched a season high by making 21 three-point baskets, they did, the Wolves.
Just amazing.
Edwards and Reed and Rudy played well, but it was a sloppy game. I mean, the boys stopped turning the ball over, and that was the biggest difference in the ball game. That and the fact that my own personal discovery, Naz Reid, showed up to play. He was the only player hitting shots early.
I was talking to Nick off air. I saw Naz Reid is doing a basketball camp this summer, and I want to give it to you for a gift. Get you involved in that.
It's probably for kids, but that's okay.
It is, because we're going to sign my son up for it. And I thought, you know who else would like this? His godfather. They could do it. You guys could do it together.
Yes.
I would love that. Tell Naz Reid it's like for me. Tell him it's like a Make-A-Wish thing. I'm on my way out. Tell him I'm on my Big Brothers. It's a Big Brothers operation.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Your godson needs to show me a good time before I die. Because other than that, he probably doesn't accept 52-year-old men.
I bet he doesn't.
A Naz Reid basketball camp? Oh, lucky little bastards. Up next, the boys play the Detroit Pistons tomorrow night, but they got to win in an ugly game.
They're pretty much locked into one of the top 3 seeds now.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, they're one out of the top spot, but the 4 seed, the Clippers, are 4.5 back of them, and I think we've only got 10 or 11 games to go.
All right. My God, are they really down to only 10 or 11?
Yeah. I think that was game 60 or 61 last night.
61.
Louise,
Yeah.
it's just flying by.
Oh, no, 71. Sorry. 71, my bad, yeah. But yeah, 11 games left then.
Son of a bastard. All right, we know where the Golden Gopher Dudes Hockey Club is going to start off in the NCAA tournament. It says here in front of me they're going to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and who wouldn't want to go to Sioux Falls? And in the opening round, which is Thursday night, they're going to take on the University of Nebraska, then Omaha. I noticed that neither St. Cloud State or Mankato made the tournament, which is a lot of fun. Right, Wapple?
Uh-oh, evil laugh from Wapple.
Oh, that's good. Hey, Dana, how does that feel?
Doesn't feel great. Not great.
Whatever.
The Huskies needed to win the NCHC tournament to get in.
Nobody cares what the Huskies had to do.
The
Mankato
have to win the Big Ten tournament. We were just automatically in.
The Mankato players just need another year of seasoning, that's all.
I see North Dakota's in there. They'll get beat right away by Michigan. But anyway, there the Golden Gophers play Thursday night. The Frozen Four is here in town. I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Can't believe I didn't hear that sooner.
We'll get
2 wins away from the Frozen Four.
We'll get into that when we get to Thursday. The ladies hockey team won a shootout last night, beating Montreal, so they've won 5 in a row. Now they take a month off for the Women's World Hockey Championships.
Oh.
A friggin' month off? Man.
Good gig if you can get it.
Yeah. Is there a radio world championship or something where we would get a month off for that? So they're looking like they'll be in good shape come playoff time. Now, you guys tell me what this means. You tell me about this movie. Never saw it. Inside Out is a movie that people have watched enough to where they've made a second version of Inside Out. And there's a player on the ladies hockey team here in town. Her name is Kendall Coyne Schofield. She's doing a voice in the movie. She is a voice actor.
That's cool.
Oh, the kids movie then. Yeah, that movie is adorable.
It's kind of depressing.
Yeah, I've heard it will make you cry.
Yeah.
That's why I have not watched it. I got enough to cry about. I don't need help from Pixar.
I was gonna say, you don't need any help.
Yeah, they already got me with Up.
Oh, God, the first 10 minutes
dude,
of that?
I can't watch Up.
Yeah, Inside Out was kind of bummed me out, to be honest with you.
I just watched Despicable Me for the first time. That was a cute movie.
Oh, I hate those movies. I can't stand the little minions.
Oh, I loved them.
Stupid little voices.
Stole the moon.
You guys watch all these kids' movies, huh?
Yeah, they like usually feel good movies.
Pixar does a good job of making them cater to both kids and adults.
Like, one of my favorite movies is Wreck-It Ralph. I absolutely love that movie.
That is a good movie, but like you guys know, I have to be careful whenever I watch a kid movie because chances are I'm going to cry, especially if they're animated and there's like something cute animated and it goes through a hard time. I'm crying.
It happens. I know this probably isn't a kid's movie, but it is a cartoon. I had tears of rage when I went to go see Wiener Party or whatever the hell that's.
That was just on cable last night.
Yeah,
I've never
that's
seen that.
understandable. You've never seen it, really?
No,
oh,
well-
it's mess. It's ugh. It's just ugh.
I don't think I've ever been so mad
Yeah, don't waste your
at
time.
a movie. It was so friggin' dumb, I could have choked somebody in the lobby.
It's just like an uncomfortable movie too.
It's horrible.
Ugh.
Shohei Ohtani's going to talk to the media today, boys. What do you think he's got to say?
Interesting.
Oh, I'm excited.
I'm kind of rooting for the fact that he's a degenerate gambler.
I want that to happen so bad.
There was a lot of stuff that came out over the weekend, whether it's real or not quite sure, on social media about this situation and some people that supposedly know what's going on, or
is he crooked or what?
He might be.
That would be awesome.
He may have a problem.
What were the Dodgers thinking the other day when they let ESPN do a 90-minute interview with the
interpreter?
With the interpreter?
Well, we talked about that last week, right?
Yeah.
But they never aired it? Is that correct?
No, they never aired it.
Right.
And no one's seen the tapes yet. I want to know what's on that.
So, I'm reading all kinds of things over the weekend about this Shohei thing and his interpreter, Mr. Muzihara. And according to a fella by the name of Sam Blum, who works for The Athletic, I always hear about this. What is this? The Athletic. But anyway, this Muzihara guy, the interpreter, he's very mysterious. They looked up things about his past, and there's all kinds of inaccuracies. Again, according to this Sam Blum from The Athletic. When he was working for the Angels, he was listed as having graduated from the University of California, Riverside. Since this story busted loose, that university denied he ever attended the school.
Weird.
They say in his bio somewheres, if you looked up his bio, again, before this disaster happened, it said he was an interpreter for Hideki Okijima when he worked for the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox deny he ever worked for them. This Mizihara. So who is this effing guy? What the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
Well,
Interesting.
Shohei's going to say something today.
Yeah, I hope he's taking questions. I hope it's just not a statement, and that's it.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he's just reading a statement.
Well, if that's the case, then we're not going to get much today.
No.
They called the Red Sox and say, was this guy an interpreter for Hideki Okijima? And they said, no. Well, then who the hell is this guy?
Given the accusations, I would be shocked if he'd be taking questions. But
overwhelmingly optimistic, Jesus wants to know what the over-under is that he comes out as a gambler because he wants in on the action.
Oh, this is funny. Brewers and High Life Jesus has texted in. He said Pete Rose has come forward and said it was his interpreter who was betting on games.
Maybe that's why Shohei deferred all of his money. He was afraid that he might spend it all.
Oh, sure. Don't be tempted.
And here's, I think, what you were referencing a minute ago, Randy Shaver. There's all kinds of stories popping up about huge bets being made on Ohtani games, meaning games that Ohtani started.
That he pitched.
And he started.
Oh, boy.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And he didn't do well, and there were massive bets on Ohtani not doing well.
They can't corroborate whether it was his bets or not, but they were massive bets made through a bookie in Japan. Is that right?
Right.
If I remember that right.
From Shohei's hometown.
Yes. Massive bets. And we're talking millions of dollars on the nights of the games that he pitched.
Right.
And in those games, he pitched terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They were bet against him.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Right.
Oh, man, this is going to get good.
Betting against him, exactly.
Yes.
These are just rumors and this and that, but it's popping up everywhere. Bad timing. Was it MLB.com just released a list of who's the best player in the big leagues?
Oh, God.
Number 1, Shohei Ohtani. Players commented, everyone's on the same page. We're watching history, said one player.
Yeah, well,
there's not a single human on earth that can do what he does, says another player.
There's no doubt.
Right.
That he is that good.
Right.
There's no doubt.
Except when he's got a lot of money on the game and is intentionally losing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Then he doesn't play so well, according to some, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, just for the record, the other players who showed up on this list of the best in the business, Ronald the guy from the Braves.
Acuna, yeah.
Aaron Judge, give me a break. Corey Seager, Mookie Betts.
Yeah. There's a picture of Ohtani walking out of the dugout, and Betts is in the batting circle, but that's got Ohtani Betts next to each other.
No. I see where they're going with that.
It's going to be an interesting morning for the Dodgers.
Oh, they got to be sweating.
Yeah.
They haven't stopped sweating since this friggin' story broke. Twins clinched last place in the Grapefruit League yesterday with a loss to the Orioles.
Yeah,
if that matters to anybody.
And they lost another relief pitcher. This Justin Topa is hurt, and he'll be on the injured list to start the season. So they have just been creamed by injuries here on the pitching staff to start the season, which is not a good sign.
No.
Very disappointing. And these are guys that they traded for, too. I mean, it just seems like they have been bitten by the injury bug here to start the year, and that's not good.
Dick Bramer will make us feel better about it tomorrow, I bet.
I hope so.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
it'd be awesome.
If you're
66 and sunny in Kansas City on Thursday. Just looked
That'd
it
be
up.
great.
So.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds all right.
Imagine if the Twins were opening at home this week.
Oh, boy.
That'd be awesome. Don't we say that every year?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
And that's
but
okay.
Larry DeVito down at the Twins, who's in charge of the field, would be like going crazy because this would not be what he was hoping for.
We'll talk to Dick Bramer for the first time of the baseball season tomorrow. Love that man and very, very appreciative that he's decided to stick around with us and have some laughs again this baseball season. But check this out right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line. Text FAN to 651-989-9393 for a shot to win tickets to the Twins home opener against the Cleveland Guardians. That's April 4th at Target Field.
Week from Thursday.
The word is fans, 651-989-9393. Yes, a week from Thursday. Thank you, Minnesota Twins, for furnishing that prize. That ought to be something pretty special.
I was just looking at the schedule. The second team that comes through Target Field is the Dodgers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, April 9th, April 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, see if we can get a media pass. Go ask some questions.
Yeah. We'll get to the bottom of this.
I bet they'll be real open to, kind of fringe media people.
I'm sure he'd come on the show. Let's get him on.
I'll bet he's going to get heckled from ballpark to ballpark.
Oh, yes.
Especially in like San Francisco. They're going to just heckle the heck out of him.
Oh, God. Yep.
Anaheim, too.
Yeah, Anaheim, too.
Oh, big time.
That'll be fun.
Right.
Anaheim. I got to holler this out real quick. Every day we've talked about the Twins in the last 2 weeks, somebody texts in about how the Twins need to sign Trevor Bauer. Fair enough. We hear you.
No.
There's some people who just, I guess they need someone to say it out loud. So I'm going to go ahead and say it out loud. There's a few people in our audience who want the Twins to sign Trevor Bauer. Fair enough. Gotcha. We got it.
No.
All right. What is this now? You see that UFC fight? One guy bit the other one on the arm?
Fight is over.
Wow, straight fight over.
Okay.
Wow. I didn't think they had to do that.
Disqualification.
For
Disqualification.
A fight instead of a warning.
Well, it goes beyond
Yes, you did.
intentional
Yes,
to.
you did.
But how do you know
Explain to
he
him
actually bit down?
That's the
Because
thing. I'd like to see a stern
your
warning
team
there.
sometimes
Let
makes
him continue to
contact.
fight.
No, but they only make contact when you put a rear naked choke in someone's mouth and it gets on.
Yeah, you're right. He did bury
I've never
his face
been
in
behind
there.
somebody trying to go for a single leg
Fair enough.
and accidentally
Fair
just
enough.
scraped him with my teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember back.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
yeah,
my
come on
God.
now.
See that.
Okay.
Never mind.
See that. Okay.
Everybody talk all at once on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Stresses me out.
That was the announcers doing a terrible job of calling a UFC fight. I don't know who these friggin' guys are. But one guy bit into the other's arm and was disqualified. And, so what? But you got to see the video or the still pictures. The bite created a perfect dental record.
Yeah, it did.
This is up on 93x.com.
Perfect.
He could go to a tattoo shop and they can just do that without outlining it.
Perfect imprint of this guy's teeth, chiclets.
Wow.
Bit him hard. The Vikings, what does it say here? The rumor is the Vikings are in aggressive pursuit of quarterback J.J. McCarthy.
Or being in position to draft.
Yeah. I mean, if they're in the 4 spot, that should happen. That's where they would need to be. Not that he would go 4, but there's going to be quarterbacks in spots 1, 2, and 3, not J.J. McCarthy.
Aggressive pursuit of okay. Ringing your mom's doorbell, Jesus has texted in to say, I heard Ohtani is giving his Sweet 16 picks today to the media. Isn't this crazy?
Oh,
this really is.
It is.
The biggest star in today's game.
Well, Pete
the
Rose.
The biggest star, some say, ever. And there you go. Pete Rose. The same things were said about Pete Rose.
Yeah. At the time when he was a manager, he was still, he was a Hall of Fame, player and all that kind of stuff.
You know what this means. Eventually, we're going to see Ohtani versus the gobbledygooker at a future Royal Rumble.
So he's a future WWE Hall of Famer, you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, if somehow it becomes proven that Shohei Ohtani is crooked, the first phone call he gets is from Triple H. Mm-hmm. Or whoever's making the phone calls over there at WWE anymore. I think it's Triple H. I think
it is.
Or his wife,
that Khan guy.
Khan, right? One of those Khans, or the billion-dollar princess, Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. They love that bit. They love to bring the black sheep, the scapegoat, into the mix. So there you go. Hey, Randy Shaver, Friday night, I ducked into old Rock Elm Tavern there in Plymouth.
Atta boy.
Mm-hmm. I brought
a Shaver special?
I did. I got the Shaver special to help the Randy Shaver Cancer Research Fund.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Josh, I brought my sister.
Oh, yeah, did you now?
And my...
just curious.
I also brought my friggin' wife.
Oh, my God.
God.
I don't know why he says that about her. She's lovely.
Yeah, she's
She's no fun to take out to eat. That bill could skyrocket.
Oh my God!
Desserts, a lot of desserts,
a lot of damage to my what do you call it? My pocketbook.
Oh my God!
She must stop listening at about 8:10.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
Oh, she's a K-Fan fan.
She hears every word I'm saying.
Oh man!
Can I ask you something real quick? This is a buddy of mine just texted. He's curious. I personally don't care. The dinner conversation, specifically your sister, my name come up at all? And if so, what was said specifically?
No.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry, Josh.
One of these days.
Except for when she asked how big that I thought. No, she didn't say anything.
The bill would be.
The bill would be.
Yeah.
But when they offered the dessert menu, she didn't say, I'll have it if Josh is on the dessert menu. Nothing?
No, it didn't come up this time, Josh.
Josh Alamode.
Yummy.
Yeah, the Shaver special. We swung by, and it really was a delicious sandwich.
Good.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. My plan is to head there next weekend.
I thought maybe I'd see you there.
Yeah, this coming weekend.
All right. There you go. So if folks don't know, you swing by.
Get rid of the snow first.
Yeah, it's going to be a bitch here for a couple days. If you swing by Rock Elm Tavern, you got a sandwich and a beer over there, and proceeds go to your cancer research fund. It's a hell of a deal.
Yep.
So there you go. We're all done, skis, boys. I think
fabulous. We're going to have a lot to talk about this week.
Well,
we got all these things merging at the same time.
Okay, Shohei drama.
Basketball, hockey, the Wild trying to make the playoffs. You've got the tournament continues. You've got baseball starting on Thursday, and then every day from till October, which is amazing. So,
and then guess what we get to talk about next week?
Go ahead, Brad Ryder.
The Masters.
No, we won't be talking. No, it won't happen.
Yes. Tradition unlike any other.
That's what they call it.
I forgot. I hate that stuff.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I forgot about the Pigs. They don't play until Thursday. And the teams that they're battling with are all going to have a couple games in hand.
Yeah.
So they're going to come to the ice Thursday with a hell of a lot of possibly a hell of a lot of pressure on them to make up some points.
They've got 10 games left, and they're 6 points out now. They got to win almost every game.
All right, the friggin' wife was listening when I made that comment about how much. And what did Josh, she sent me a video.
Oh, no.
What is it?
Well, whatever it is, you deserve it.
It's
Is that Peg Bundy?
It's Peg Bundy from Married with Children sitting on a bed covered in food, and she's just cleaning out.
She's eating all the chicken off a bone here. A lot of fried chicken.
A bucket of wings.
That is a lot of food.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, she knows. She knows that she needs to slow down on her eating.
Nick put that in his vows. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
If you gain this amount of weight, we're done.
Oh my gosh! You don't make her jump on the scale, do
I
you?
haven't said anything like that, but I do. I order for her at restaurants. I do.
They have weekly weigh-ins, Randy.
Oh my God!
Boy, that'd be something.
How quick would I be living outside if I said stuff like that?
Yeah, no kidding. Me too.
Yeah, see, well, you guys, you got yourself in a situation.
It's that old Sam Cassell line. Some guys run their house, some guys run around their house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no kidding.
You two, you guys are friggin' pathetic. All right, we got to get going again. Brad Ryder, Randy Shaver, thanks for every damn thing, and we'll talk to you very soon.
See ya.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Grace here, customer service rep at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Our customers are our top priority, whether that's providing same-day service or solving a cooling issue for that addition on your home. Ashley, tell our listeners about this month's AC specials.
Get started on your spring cleaning checklist now. With the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to get your AC tuned up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.
What companies count? Half-assed morning show. 93X.
You fixed me up with a bald woman. Bald? Yeah, that's right.
Do you see the irony here? You're rejecting somebody because they're bald.
So?
You're bald!
No, I'm not. I was bald.
And I don't deserve this.
Bald asshole?
Sir, I'm bald. I'm not offended. Well, with all due respect, Officer Burt, you are not bald, okay? You have chosen to shave your hair. That's a look that you're cultivating to be fashionable, and we don't really consider you part of the bald community, with all due respect.
Hey! All right, how's everybody doing out there? Are the roads getting any better? Welcome back to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. Hell of a storm is cutting through town. We have high hopes that you get to where you're going again with as little trouble as possible. We do. It's been a hell of a deal. I got an interesting text earlier from my plow driver. Some of you suckers chase around a snowblower all afternoon. I don't do jack squat except look out my window if I'm lucky I'm home and watch my plow guy go up and down the driveway. But I got a confusing message from the guy. He texted her about 5:30 this morning, and he said, "Your driveway is plowed, LOL."
Yeah, you know.
What's the LOL? What's funny about it?
I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds like a text I would send.
Every once in a while, I also get a confusing LOL.
That makes me think something terrible happened.
Yeah.
Your driveway, what did you get? Did you accidentally plow the cat in the process?
I usually throw LOL or haha at the end of a message if I don't want to come off like too seriously, I guess.
You throw a haha or an LOL.
Yeah, when I'm not ha-haing or LOLing, it just I'm like, oh, that's
so
just
all
like
those LOLs have been lies?
Yeah, Dana, especially to you.
Driveway is plowed, LOL. I don't know what he meant by that, but it sounds like, okay, we're good to go.
Maybe it's plow guy speak for something else. We can only hope.
I just don't know.
Put something there he hid something for you to find later.
That would be fun. All right, Cubby. Cubby had some fun audio there to start this break about bald people. They're calling this year the biggest news for bald men since the shaved head look came into style. And here it is. Listen up, fellas, if you're struggling up top. Toupees are back in how do you say it? Toupees are back in style, they say, in a big way, honey.
Wow.
Quite honestly, I didn't know they ever were in style. I thought people got made fun of for those.
Mm-hmm. Well, they always were made fun of, but I think you can be a joke and also be in style. We've seen plenty of stuff that's in style that's ridiculous and stupid. In the mid-'70s, toupees were in style. I remember a good buddy of my dad's who was as bald as a baby's ass suddenly walked onto the scene with a toupee and expected everyone just to act like everything's cool. And I mean, my dad and his buddies were absolutely relentless in busting this guy's balls. They were brutal to this guy, but it was in style.
Well, that's crazy because you look at some of the 70s toupees compared to today, and there's really no comparison.
Yeah, I'm guessing they made some improvements.
Oh, yeah. Like, just look at how many improvements have been made on wigs nowadays.
Wigs, toupees, aren't they all the same? At any rate, the New York Post did a write-up on how hyper-realistic the new toupees are, and they are calling it the hottest new, quote, flex. I gotta see pictures of this, Josh. Did you see any pictures?
Yeah, I watched a video of the process, and it's I would never tell. But then again, I can't tell wigs either, and some people are like, oh, that person's wearing a wig.
Well, here's the deal.
So here is. Oh, let me see if I can.
We were just talking about, a few years ago. We Josh and I, just for laughs, were we gifted these?
Yeah,
wigs?
we were given wigs.
We were talking about how bald the both of us are. And some companies sent us what they called, high dollar wigs, and they look pretty damn good. But
they did.
These are apparently the new deal. Okay, Josh is showing me a picture, a before and after, of the dude. Before picture, he was as bald as the day he was born, and now Josh is showing me a picture of his toupee, and it really is very good looking.
It's remarkable.
Yeah, I wouldn't guess at all. Would never enter my mind. And
what's the name of there's nowhere in here the name of the company or who's doing this?
Well, Toupee Queen is the lady who put the video out.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't see any info on if there's just a particular brand or what.
They call them hyper realistic again. Hyper real. That means they must be pretty damn.
But yeah, there's a place in New York where people are going to get them.
Okay.
Called Top Shop.
See, the article here says that the heyday for toupees was in the 80s. I mean, not the kind of argument we need to get into, but I think it was in the good ones these days use real hair that is then stitched into a piece of polyester thin enough to sweat through, they say. Okay, I don't exactly know why that is. Oh, well, I guess I do know why they included that comment. And me and my buddies have fun with this when we go out to see our favorite 80s rock and 70s rock bands play live. Who's wearing a wig and who isn't.
Oh, sure.
And it's way more than you think. And, one of my buddies takes great offense to this for some reason. If I call out one of his favorite guitar players or singers for wearing a wig, he doesn't want to talk about it.
What? Who cares?
That's my argument. But he thinks I'm being disrespectful. I'm just pointing out the guy's wearing a wig. Who knows? My buddy's motivation. He gets real defensive if his favorite rock star is wearing a wig and I'm making fun of them. But maybe this is old news, or most folks learned this years ago. I started to figure out who was wearing a wig and who was not. I mean, some are very obvious, but some are not. I started figuring out who was wearing a wig and who was not on stage by if they're sweating or not. If the sweat is on their face like it normally would be. If they're not, the wig is soaking it all up, right? So that's one way to tell if you didn't already know that information. And that's probably why they put in this, okay, it's stitched into a piece of polyester that's thin enough to sweat through, so you will be believable. Sweat pouring down. They glue it to your scalp. Glue it to your scalp. And give you the exact hairdo that you want. You can shower in it. And you go 6 months before it needs to be reapplied. That must be some friggin' incredible glue.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
It's Gorilla Glue.
Extensions are pretty impressive too, that they can keep those for a long time. And some of the tape ones, and then obviously they have the tie-in ones.
Yeah, I had clip-in ones for a little. I've worn them maybe twice. They're just too difficult to install by yourself. You definitely need somebody else there helping you. But I I could notice when I was wearing them, like it felt, my head just, like my hair felt way heavier, obviously. But like when I look at pictures of myself wearing them, I can't tell at all. It looks natural.
Boy, I don't know. I'd be interested in this, but I would feel kind of like a douchebag if I had something like that.
Well, I mean, especially when you're going from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which these guys were. I mean, a lot of them, and maybe they're told to do it ahead of time, but they have the monk look where, it's just around the sides they can grow it.
Right. You'd have to have a pretty understanding group of friends. My group of friends would be, like I was explaining about my dad and his buddy, they would be absolutely brutal and relentless, and I would have to gut it out for quite a stretch before maybe they would never let me let it go. But I would imagine maybe you'd have to gut it out for a good month or two before it finally dummies down a little bit. Maybe it'll never dummy down, but
you could do the thing where you just make fun of yourself first, and then
that's not going to be enough, Dana.
That's not going to be enough.
When you go from a bald head to super sexy full head of hair, no, you make fun of yourself all day long. They're still not going to let it go.
Yeah, that's one they're going to keep up with.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, what else is there I need to tell you about? Oh, but Ashley, speaking of, you were talking about hair extensions for ladies?
Yep.
The first time I saw that, I was completely lost. I didn't understand what it was I was looking at. I was, surprising or not, I was at a strip joint. And I'm sitting up in the front row, and the gal is whipping her hair around, doing the Whitesnake video type thing, and I spotted this, like what do you call those things? Like a claw type of a thing?
Like a clip?
Pardon me?
Like a clip?
A clip, thank you. There was this clip in the back of her head. And I said to my buddy, I said, what the hell is, and he said, well, it's hair extension. I didn't even know what I was looking at. It looked great, when you couldn't see the clip. I didn't know it's as easy as that for ladies. They just clip a pile of
There's
fake
a few
hair.
ways to do it,
you can do that way, or you can get it like actually like sewed in, and that seems painful though. So I'm afraid to do that.
A lot of the new women's wrestlers have hair extensions.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Oh yeah. See, after I got turned on to the idea, I could notice it all over the place. Then it's funny how that works. Okay, back to this new toupee for men. They glue it. That throws me. They glue it to your scalp, and it can sit there for 6 months. You can take showers up and down.
It's a lot of glue too.
It doesn't smell. Doesn't get a funk.
There's no mention here about funk.
Well, they just said you can wash it.
Yeah.
Yeah, even like with my clip-ins, they told me every single time, like I'd go to put them in, like to wash them every time, like with the same conditioner that I use for my normal hair.
You unclip it from the back of your head, and then you wash it up in a sink.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it feels weird. Well, for me it was weird because I like to blow dry my hair, so I can't just blow dry my real hair and not blow dry the fake hair, or else like it just won't match. And so it is so funny the time I did that, and I'm sitting there with like 10 different pieces of hair just blow drying them.
Now, if you're a regular listener of the show, you'll get this line. Nicole has texted in to say that she likes her men with more anxiety than hair.
I know a guy like that.
Yeah. We should set those two up.
He actually texted in earlier when we brought the topic up and said, I'm listening.
I don't understand this text. To all guys, if you wear a toupee, just know no one's heard a word you've said ever?
Because they're staring at your toupee.
Is that a movie line or something?
Well, I think it's just a joke.
Just making fun of them.
All right. Okay, the new toupees for men are very, very expensive. Several thousands of dollars.
Wow.
And they don't last forever. You might need a new one every year or two.
Oh, that stinks.
That's crazy.
But they're still cheaper than a hair transplant, especially if you are fully bald, like me and Gabby. There is, though, however, a growing movement to normalize this. Eventually, they say wigs for men might not seem weird at all. Well, yeah, I suppose I can see that day being a reality. I mean, it won't be anytime soon, but long after I'm dead. These days, it is so accepted to have your lips done, boobs done, ass done, fake hair, fake eyebrows, cheeks.
Yeah.
It just is.
look younger.
Young kids going in for procedures.
And I say do whatever makes you feel good.
I remember when I was in 7th grade, a gal ducked in to get a nose job.
Oh, wow.
And we talked about it in the hallway for 6.5 months.
Just for aesthetics, or did she have issues?
No, just because she had kind of a horn on her.
Really?
Oh, yeah, if you can afford it, shoot.
But that was headline news in 1983.
Heck yeah, it would be.
Now it's so normalized. Sure, it'll take some time, but maybe 25, 30 years from now, a bald guy can walk in to his workplace on a Tuesday, come back the next day with a full head of hair, no one will say jack squat.
This text says, I have a coworker with the 6-month toupee. He had it before I knew him, and I never knew. Thought it looked real. I think if you power through the mockery, it becomes normal.
So he has a coworker who has one of these new setups. You can already find, says here in closing out this article about these new toupees for men. You can already find guys online bragging about how good their toupee looks. So it's less about hiding your baldness now. They say it's more about owning it. Very interesting. I'd like to see more on this. I'd like to see more about it.
I want to see it in person.
Me too.
I want to test my skill.
Maybe you have seen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you have. I want to touch it. I want to watch them shower with it on to see if it really hangs onto your noggin.
Yeah, I bet.
Hey, let me brush that, pal.
Yeah, I want to brush it for them.
I bet that's the first question they get when they tell people, "Can I touch it?"
Yeah.
I want to know.
That's how it was when I got my implants.
Was it? Yeah.
All right, let me ask you guys this. Everybody, not just guys. Ashley, too. Which appearance enhancer would you never consider? I guess maybe that's too tough of a question because it's everything from full-on facial reconstruction to a spray tan. I was thinking more on the lower end of things. Like, which one do you think is the silliest? Like hair dye, spray tan, wig?
I always thought Botox was kind of silly.
Dung extender. Botox?
Yeah,
silly?
because you can easily overdo that.
And also, too, my ex would get it, and she'd come home, and she'd be like, "You don't notice?" I'm like, "No, I don't notice a thing."
Yeah,
and,
see,
it costs thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Oh, it's not thousands of dollars. I know
It
people
can
who
be.
I know. Well, it can be if you go bananas like Pam Anderson. I know people who go in for little Botox injections just to keep things. I don't know.
Yeah, it's used as a preventative, so you don't look like you're getting older.
Some
That's
of the
why
procedures can be very cheap if you just look into.
Yep. If you stay on top of it, then it can be cheap.
I tried dyeing my hair. I did that once.
I didn't know that.
Maybe I did it more than once. Yeah, and it looks silly. Yeah.
Mine would probably be like lip injections, just because I've seen it go like way far, and it scares me. Like I wouldn't trust anybody enough to put the perfect amount that I'd want in my lips.
Yeah, I guess maybe I'm more so asking you about the cheapy everyday things, the expensive stuff. I mean, we don't need to get into that, but yeah, maybe you didn't notice that I dyed my hair a couple times because I'm always wearing a lid.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that nobody notices because I got my hair done last week and nobody said anything.
Well, you got a hood up.
See,
you
now
have your
I
hood
do.
up all the time.
It looks bad today, but all last week, I was like waiting for it. I had my hood down all last week.
Yeah,
Nobody said
You
anything.
work with dudes.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything.
You should know that we're no good at that.
My wife has busted me on that. My wife had a leg amputated, and I didn't notice that.
I think spray tan would be the one for me that would look absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, but it looks really good, too. It does, Wapple.
Can look cool.
I can't imagine you like all tan and stuff.
That's what I'm trying to, just pasty white me. I cannot see me with a tan.
It sucks because, take it from me, I know something or another. I tried spray tanning once, and I looked incredible. But it wasn't, like you were saying, it wasn't me. And I got my balls busted sideways by my buddies. The hair dyeing thing, I don't think my buddies noticed that. If they did, they didn't say anything. But it just looked too fake.
Cyclops Jesus said, "No thank you to wang reduction surgery. Too risky. I'm just going to live with what I got."
What do real guys do this? You guys tell me. I've seen television wrestlers do it. The fake abs.
Oh, I've never seen anyone actually do it.
Yeah, I've definitely seen movies where I thought that for sure is sprayed on.
I might have seen Chris Jericho one time or two.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Jericho's the worst with that.
It was like a gimmick. He's just so out of shape, and then you see this ripped six-pack.
What, do you think it is a joke?
Oh, yeah.
So he's not trying to trick anybody?
I don't know. See, the thing is, he plays the heel so often that it's totally understandable that the heel would spray on fake abs so the crowd can bust his chops. But I wonder if maybe, I don't know, does he do it when he goes to the beach? I don't know.
When I went to that Ironheart wrestling event, one of the wrestlers came out and he started spraying some fake spray tan stuff all over him.
That's good.
Oh, that was hilarious. That got me pretty good.
Well, yeah, I want to learn more about, not that I'd go get one, because it's just too late, but I'd like to see a little more on these new toupees, man. That's exciting.
Yeah, there's a few things I might be interested in. I'd feel silly getting something like that, and I wouldn't do it if I was single, simply because trying to explain that to someone, oh, by the way, just so you know, this is all fake. I can take this off if I'd like.
Good point.
Maybe you wouldn't. Why would you feel the need to explain that to him?
I can't live another lie. It's tough enough keeping all the other ones straight.
Can't add another to the list.
I mean, I suppose once you get involved with them, for just a regular Saturday night piece, you don't got to tell them nothing.
Well, that's different, right?
Woo-wee! They think they're dangling with Nikki Sixx. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Hey, pull my toupee. I mean, hair! Pull my hair! Oh, no, I screwed it up.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
And how many drinks would you say you consume each week?
Socially, about 4 to 6. Alone in the dark while crying to Adele, 100.
On 93X.
You guys ready to join the battle?
Yeah.
Out there on the
let's do
roadways?
Get out on the roads and join the friggin' battle.
Go drive around for fun, maybe.
Somebody texted in and said it's still snaining.
Is it snaining out there?
That's what they tell me.
Fine on my way in.
I just
no
checked,
snain.
and it's still supposed to all day too. It's supposed to turn to
Snaining.
rain.
There you go. Yes. Yes, you are correct. So we'll be out there shortly, joining everybody in this madness. But first, before we go, we were having a conversation about little, how do you call it, Cubby?
Procedures?
Procedures, appearance modifications. It's everywhere these days, absolutely everywhere. And the latest story is this new toupee for men. It's supposed to be just lights out, hyper realistic. So we started talking back and forth about these different little things we can do to ourselves. We got into, I guess, more or less the procedures that we would avoid trying ourselves. And our listeners chimed in with some text messages. One lady listener, fake eyelashes, she said. Not her style. They're just too silly, too outlandish. Ashley, have you ever tried big, long, damn spider-looking fake eyelashes?
No, I've never actually wore fake eyelashes because I'm afraid. Like, I don't like things touching my eyes like that. Like that just freaks me out too much. I actually, it wasn't too long ago. It happened twice, like within an hour. I was at the bar playing pool, and this guy was like, "How much did you pay for those?" It's like, pay for what? And he's like, your eyelashes, they're fake. And I actually got a chance to say twice, like, nope, these are all mine, baby.
All natural.
Yeah, it's my mom's doing. She taught me to take my makeup off before I go to bed.
Yeah. I've been complimented before on my eyelashes. Do you know how you know when the rest of your face isn't cutting it? When someone comments on your eyelashes.
Most men actually have the prettiest, longest eyelashes.
Yes.
It's not fair.
Yes.
What are you doing with those?
It's funny because a lot of the texts I received are different appearance modifications that were hot, were popular quite a few years ago. At least that's the way I remember it. You guys tell me if I'm right or wrong. Dispensing Justice Jesus said, no friggin' way in the world he's going to go ahead with spray-on hair. Remember that deal?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That was the Cubby. The TV commercials were very convincing.
Yeah, it looked pretty good on TV. I've never seen anybody in person, but I bet it didn't look so good.
No.
You
Just put a little Rust-Oleum up there.
Yeah, I'll be damned. I remember. Do you guys remember the scandal involving an NBA player by the name of Carlos Boozer?
No, the name.
Yeah.
What was the scandal?
He would spray on his hair.
Wasn't it like you could see it dripping or
Yes.
something?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I remember this.
You
Yep.
can look these pictures up on the internet. I mean, Carlos Boozer, I thought didn't he go to Duke? He was a hell of a player.
Yeah, he did go to
Spent
Duke.
some time in the NBA. He's a good player. But he was bald and he would spray the top of his head to make it look like he had a shaved head. But yeah, at a game or two, he starts to sweat and it's just pouring down his face. He looked like he was melting.
It's funny. So I Google search Carlos Boozer, and the third Google search is spray painted hair.
Yeah,
God.
Something like that will follow you.
This looks so bad.
Yeah, this is bad.
It's not even dripping just when he's got it on there.
Yeah.
And it's so shiny.
Yeah, it doesn't come. That is not close to looking real.
It looks like somebody took a Sharpie to his head.
Yeah.
That was a bad call on his part. Didn't Prince steal his house or something? Anyway, we can talk about that some other.
He's one of those guys that looks great bald. So he really didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
He was a decent-looking guy, bald. Okay, a listener texted in and said, dyed hair. We talked a little bit about dyed hair. I tried dyeing my hair once or twice, and it was silly. Dyed hair isn't the worst on that subject. It's dyed beards, says a listener. I think the dyed beard looks even worse than the dyed hair. I do.
Because usually they go so black with
Yes.
it. We worked with a guy that did that, and then
It's
met a guy-
overdone. It's
Yeah.
overdone. The dyed beard, it's like, dude, everyone knows you're not 19 growing your very first beard. It's just...
I've heard someone say, they said if your beard just starts going white, just let it go because it looks so unnatural if you keep dyeing it.
Oh, I love a speckled beard.
Fake colored contact lenses. Remember when folks were putting those in?
Yes.
Oh, those are
Or the cat
scary.
eyes.
Or the people that just get like black ones. Oh, I don't like that.
I mean, it's one thing to do the blackout contact lenses. Okay, I'm a scary Darksider kid. I'm going to a Slipknot show, whatever. The cat eyes. Okay, I want to, just be kind of odd for a night. But it's the folks who just change their eye color completely. It just looks. I used to hang around a gal who, I don't know why she did it, because she's a pretty gal, but she insisted on putting in these bright blue. It just
Right, it becomes almost an unnatural shade of blue.
Yes. Shoe lifts, a listener says. You're short. It's okay. I'm fat. Nobody's perfect. Temporary tattoos. How many are those still a thing?
Yeah.
They are still a thing. So if I'm out at a bar and I see some bro sitting next to me all sleeved out, what are the chances that he just has them there for the night?
Probably pretty slim, but it's possible.
That would be great.
There are people who just throw on the temporary ones to kind of put out a vibe. I thought that had come and gone.
And
You
they're
ever
being
seen those-
serious about it. That's funny.
Have you ever seen those like sleeves, the nylon sleeves?
Oh,
You-
yes.
I've got confused a couple times by those, or tricked, I should say.
Oh yeah, that you wear for like Halloween and all that.
Well, there's a guy that a buddy of mine who's like very corporate, very nerdy, that type. If you can believe that I hang out with that kind of guy. He had one day. He's like, yeah, dude, I hadn't seen him in like a month. He's like, in the month that I've seen you, I got this whole sleeve. I'm like, that doesn't fit your personality at all. And like, and also, why is it perfectly straight at your wrist? And then he snapped it, and it's like, no, it's this nylon deal. He was messing with this
Oh, that's
coworker.
funny.
Oh, we got a couple listeners that say, hell no, I'm never bleaching the beehole.
Don't knock it till you try it. That's all I'm going to say.
People are doing that nowadays, Josh. They throw a little bleach back there.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I mean, is it worth it?
I don't know. It depends, I guess.
In the rainforest.
It depends how much that's being used, I suppose.
My sister-in-law is a bee-hole bleacher, meaning she does that as a profession.
Yeah.
Amongst
See, I just do
other
it as a
things.
hobby.
You'll just volunteer your services.
That's nice of you.
That's a hell of a deal. Bleaching the beehole. Yeah. You watch enough porno movies, you go, hey, that doesn't look legit.
Why do people do that, by the way? Does anyone know?
I don't know.
I know why some people do it. Adult
your profession.
actresses do it so it looks delicious. Regular people do it for the same reason.
Yeah, the same reason, yep.
Mine would not look delicious.
Well, maybe it would if you bleached it, Waffle. Hop on the trend.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I think the show is over.
Yeah.
If this is where we're going
I
now.
think delicious, that word changed it, and then you guys jumping on that. This person says, bleach in your beehole. Isn't that called changing your ringtone?
Oh, God dang!
And that's how you end a show.
Yeah, not going back and forth with Wapple as to whether his would look good or bad. I don't think mine would.
Happy birthday to Josh, plowing North St. Paul for Public Works today.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Get started on your spring cleaning checklist now. With the weather warming up, it's the perfect time to get your AC tuned up with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get $40 off a furnace or AC tune-up, or double your savings and get $80 off when you get them done at the same time. Visit standardheating.com to save now.